Welcome back to the Members Only podcast. Today we have our beloved Stink with us here
Hello, hello,
today.
hello. Hi.
Noted My Hero Academia fan to this day as well.
Ugh.
So,
Already starts. Already starts.
do you have a disagreement with that label?
Calling me a fan, an acquaintance, maybe.
An MHA
I'm not like
acquaintance.
an MHA acquaintance.
I'm not like the
is
other
better.
fans.
Yeah, I'm not like those other.
Would have would it have been better if I called you an MHA enjoyer?
Maybe worse. Maybe worse.
I mean, come on.
I'm a proud member of the Asaratha group chat.
Yeah.
You know, the MHA hater club.
You know, I guess
Known associates.
I guess now that My Hero Academia is over, we could finally talk about the group chat.
Oh yeah. Finally leak it.
Yeah, we could finally leak that it has still never existed.
It's so funny because that shit it didn't even like come close to existing. I don't think like even at like the height of like MHA, like there was never a point where there was a group chat where everything was getting lobbed or
No, I never
like
made a group chat. I only made one MHA group chat ever. And it was for MHA content creators, which I don't think anyone
yeah.
even remembers that shit. But I did that a long time ago, and it lasted like 2 months, and that was it. That was my only group chat. And the other one is a public Discord server with 1,000 people. It's notably not a little group chat.
Yeah.
I get there's like this weird idea that my community is like not allowed to talk about discourse.
Oh yeah. I mean it's like hypocritical too because you know all these people who are going like, oh, you're lobbing this to the group chat. I see all the classic names coming out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're doing the same thing.
No,
They're
yeah,
like doing the thing that they're talking about. At least they're
I'm
actually
pretty
doing
sure
it. They have group chats for sure.
you and I have been in some of those group chats. I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yes, oh yes. I have definitely been in group chats. I've been on private accounts. I've seen it happen live before my eyes.
So like,
It's
I'm not really like a group chat enthusiast. I don't really use like Twitter group chats that much. But I've been added to them back when I was well received in the MHA community, and there are a lot of them, and they do exist, and none of them are mine.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Back when I had clout, I got added to a ton of them, and I don't think I ever talked in any of them. Or if I did, it was very like I'm in like 2 group chats right now, and you're in like both of them. I think like, I barely talk, and when I do, it's like I'm just like it's like very rare,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And the only other group chat that I've made actually is the retrospective group chat, which is for the
Yeah.
retrospective gang, which nobody uses.
Yeah. To be fair, if we wanted to say anything has ever come close to being an Asaratha group chat, it would be that. But
Yeah.
if you were to scroll up in this chat, I'm pretty sure it would take only like 2 minutes to get to like stuff from 2023. Like
It's like a month of me sending a message like once a week, being like, "Hey, I finished this section. Here's the link. I finished this section. Here's the link. Hey, can you guys
yeah.
check out the script?" And that's like that's the whole chat history, man.
Yeah, and then it's just like Naya going like, "Oh, this shit sucks." Or this part of MHA sucked way more than I remember. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Just that over and over.
yeah. In fact, there were no tweets lobbed in this group chat. I don't think,
Yeah, actually, I don't think there's ever been a single tweet lobbed.
except for Naya posting their own tweets trying to ratio
Oh yeah.
their friends. Just like no activity for a week. Naya posts a ratio. It is like, please gas, guys. Please
Yeah.
gas. But I mean, you are a lieutenant of the group chat, though.
Man, I am honored. I'm honored. I am honored that I mean, I still remember back when that Apple guy replied to me. That was a highlight of my life, a highlight of my career.
He's an interesting little critter.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to him.
There's a lot of people that I will never think of again in this fandom. I gotta give it to Apple though. I'll probably think of him fondly as I look back, because what was his deal, man? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to look at so many people fondly. I mean, it's just like looking back, there's just like a lot of like insane people. Like
yeah,
they don't make sense. It's just very like I wish the problems in the community were and went back to being like people that were just like crazy. Now it's just like way more like serious, shit like harassment. Like go back to some like random Lego guy profile picture, like
Oh my god,
replying to things
Seds.
like, yeah, said, oh my god, I was gonna tell you, I totally forgot. The other day, I think it was around the time when the final chapter posted, Seds liked one of my tweets.
No, he likes one of mine too, dude. He
Yeah,
gave me.
and like I haven't seen him in so long, and I was
I
like,
know.
whoa, holy shit, oh my god.
For those that don't know, because there was a bunch of like ReZero heads that watched this, but Seds was a guy on My Hero Academia Twitter that he was a warrior. He
He was an
he
OG.
made people like Roger's base fall to their knees and like delete their tweets. But then I think Bakugo getting revived, I think he dropped it. Not even he can do
Yeah,
this anymore.
yeah. I clicked on their profile. I don't remember exactly. I think their last tweet was like it's only retweets. Like they don't tweet anymore. At least about MJ, as far as I know.
No, I don't
It's
think he's
crazy.
tweeted. I don't think he's tweeted in months.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's so many people like that like I don't think about that used
Yeah.
to be like so like integral to the
Yeah, you
community
remember
and like the inside jokes.
you remember King?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Makima cosplayer Barker.
Oh yeah. The classic. I still can't believe like I remember when that blew up. I was like, man, I'm mutuals with that guy.
He's gone. He the King story is a funny one because he went out and got a girlfriend and then immediately left Twitter and never came back.
Got a life.
He got a life.
I can't say I'm not proud.
He beat the allegations after
He
spending like 6 months on Twitter barking at Makima cosplayers.
I mean, he left. I don't remember exactly when he left, but relatively, he left at a high point.
I don't remember when he left either. I think it was during
It,
Act 3, right?
it had to be during Act 3, but like, I think he was back when Act 3 was like bad, but like not like nuclear fireball bad,
Mm-hmm.
Back in like the early stages where it's like, okay, this is bad, but like some things could be decent when we end.
Yeah.
Mm.
For you, your retrospective message, it resonated with a lot of people. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
How did it make you feel? Did
I
you like
was
that?
It made me feel nice. I like that people seem to like what I said, and I don't know. Like I was trying to like I wasn't trying to make it emotional, but like when I think about MHA and I think about all that stuff, and I think about like what the series actually means to me, like the only thing that genuinely comes to my mind is like the people I've met through it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you and everyone in the Discord and other mutuals and other
Mm-hmm.
friends on Twitter and stuff. And I mean, I value that above anything else. And yeah, it kind of sucks to see the series, kind of go downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure I've been on Twitter yelling about it at some point over the course of the months. But I mean, like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me because mentally I've been past that part of caring about the series. And
Mm-hmm.
at this point, I just care about like, man, it's cool that I met all these people. And it's cool that I've, at least in my mind, I've like navigated to the good part of like what it was back then. Because I remember like 3 years ago, there was a lot of people that I'm not friends with today.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really like at the time, it wasn't like I made a conscious decision to stop being friends with them or being mutuals with them or whatever. But like looking now and how some people are acting, thank God. Holy, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I could have been on the wrong side of the coin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's happened to you, but there's been a lot of people in the past that have cut contact with people like me, Naya, Brawny,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because Vilhelm was bad and they couldn't handle it.
Yeah. I remember I don't remember their names specifically. I don't know if I want to say it, but I do remember a few accounts, a few people that I remember being like actually active mutuals with, and they just kind of cut ties simply for following someone that allegedly did something or that sort of thing.
Yeah, they treat it like you're like dropping slurs, dude. that you
I
don't
know.
because you don't like Villain Hunt.
Dude, they
And then you have people
not
who are actually dropping slurs and then they don't care.
yeah, it's like hating MHA is probably the worst crime you can commit on that side of Twitter.
Yeah. Is it this bad anywhere else? Like in any other
Hmm.
fandom, is it like this severe?
Severe? Probably not. I mean, I'm sure it's like something like this everywhere because these people have to exist in other places of
Hmm.
the internet. Like I cannot go without thinking that they don't exist. But I think MHA is like one of those like it captures that like mid-range young teen to young adult
Hmm.
range where I think a lot of people, honestly, myself included at one point, I go back and look at some of my old tweets and I'm like, man, what the hell was I doing? Like,
I
what the hell was
understand.
I talking about?
Yeah.
And, you know, I gotta give myself some leeway because I was like 16, 17. You know, I was growing up, I was maturing, I was changing my outlook on life. But I think MHA captures that like that one group of people really well. And it unfortunately leads to a lot of people acting very immature and very
Hmm.
hypocritical. And I think I'm sure other series that hit the same age range have very similar issues, but I think MHA's probably got it the worst, to be honest.
I wonder how bad it is in like the One Piece fandom, dude. You got like
Man,
40-year-olds in there, dude.
I feel like the One Piece fandom, it's got to be like a severe like cutoff. Like there's probably like a group of fans that are like a certain age or a certain way, and they just only interact with themselves, or at least that's how I'd hope it would be.
Hmm.
And then the kids interact with the kids, but I mean that's not realistic. I
No,
mean, look at MHA.
that one post about how like it's not fair that I'm subjected to at any point in time I could be subjected to a 14-year-old's opinion. That's just not
Yeah,
how things should be.
yeah,
And that really is how My Hero Academia Twitter is.
it really is.
It's like half the time I see something really stupid on My Hero Academia Twitter, it's either a 14-year-old or like a 30-year-old, and I don't really think there's any in between.
Yeah, there's never an in between. It's either like, and I just saw this with JJK too. I mean,
Oh
I saw
boy.
like someone, I don't remember exactly the tweet. And I'm not gonna look for it, but someone like had a normal criticism, and someone quoted it with like a joke about like realism or like something's realistic, so it's
Is this
good or
about
something.
is this about Nobara?
Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobara. Okay, and
Oh Jesus.
it is so infuriating because it's like when it's shonen. Okay, shonen itself adds to this
Mhm.
issue more than a lot because shonen. I mean, like I was saying, like it appeals to a certain demographic, but it's like like points of writing, like basic, like shit you learn in ninth grade, just fly out the wall. Like
Mhm.
they just completely disappear when it comes to discussing these series with certain people. It just completely disappears, and it's like okay,
It's
I
agenda
guess
posting, man.
yeah, it's just agenda posting. And I mean, I get it. I get writing for an agenda. Like I'm not gonna, completely judge people for that, but like when all you're doing is just finding people like upset at something or like, they're like just like on their own account. They're not even talking to anyone or in a discussion or anything, and they're just on their own account going like, "Oh man, I hated this." And like you're quoting them and you're like treating them like they're like the bottom of the barrel.
Mhm.
Like hating Villain Hunt got like it still gets you
Dude.
KKK members in your messages. I mean, it's like, what do you do?
It's been there was a period where it's died down.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people just left the fandom straight up
Yeah,
because it
honestly.
sucked.
I think a lot of the people who were a victim of this probably left the fandom
Yeah.
because, I mean,
It was so long ago I can't even remember who's left us at this point. But like there's definitely a lot of people who weren't there's definitely a lot of people who aren't here now that I would recall if I saw them.
yeah, definitely. I'm sure if like you made a group chat or something with all the old people from like 2, 3 years ago,
Not the group chat.
Yeah. Half of them would probably not be here anymore. I mean, it's like, okay, I think another thing too is, and I guess I can speak on this because I kind of went through that like dropping MHA without dropping MHA thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll always say like chapter 327, end of Villain Hunt, when that happened, like I just like stopped caring. Like I just like completely like my brain phased out. Even though like if you go on my account, like I'm still writing threads and shit. Like I'm doing things, like I'm talking about the series, I'm following it, I'm reading it. But like emotionally and like being in like especially like with Twitter, because if you're not like constantly, I mean constantly tweeting about something and being in that like community like zeitgeist, I guess, like it's pretty easy. It's like for you to be like a community member that people recognize, you kind of have to do it consistently.
Mhm.
So I think even like someone like me who kind of fell off posting about it a lot like that, like it's just hard to like say that, like, because like I don't know where I'm going with this, but you get what I mean, right? Like when you drop something, you just care about it so much less, and it just like, and I guess that's what probably happened with a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
just they just stopped caring. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah. Especially because like you can't even post in your own space anymore, man. In
Yeah,
the MHA fandom,
there's no such
like
thing as your own space.
you want to just go tweet, and like I'm always very specific because when I say you can't even tweet in your own space, I always try to make it clear that like obviously you're posting online, so like
Mhm.
people are gonna respond to you because your account's not private and shit. It's just the way that people respond to other people in the MHA fandom. It's just it's insane.
It's
Like
it's shit.
like a lot of these people wouldn't be able to handle like 15% of the shit that that Naya got.
Yeah, I mean, straight up like slurs being thrown at you because
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's one thing to like say, okay, I disagree with you. I
Hmm.
don't like your opinion. I disagree. Here's my opinion. But to treat someone going like, man, this sucks, as like the heights that people have treated it, it's crazy. Like
Hmm.
I can't even fathom. They have to be young. Like you said, it's either they're very young or very old, and it's like there's no disconnect. It's just it confuses me.
Yeah, man. Like
Yeah,
9/11, like 9/11, you know.
like 9/11. Yeah,
It's like
of
9/11.
course, of course.
It's kind of crazy that like they're trying to take one last swing, you know, and about 9/11 of all things.
It always like I don't know why or how it always circles back to that one post about Kohei Horikoshi next to the picture of like Bin Laden or something. It's always that post
that I
that it
didn't
circles
make.
back to that you didn't
That I
make.
didn't make.
They that person quoted your tweet with like a gotcha screenshot, and
Hmm.
you were nowhere to be found anywhere. Like you just weren't in the screenshots. You even didn't you even go back into the live stream where that happened and like you like dissected
So
your part of it and you did nothing?
yeah, so they put in quotes that I said that people were too sensitive for not liking 9/11 jokes, and I looked for this and it was nowhere. But apparently, what I had said, because apparently they got their quote wrong. What I had said is that Americans are sensitive, and when you take that out of context, yeah, it's like, oh, what's that about? But I'm pretty sure everyone on the planet would agree. Yes, in the context of 9/11, Americans are sensitive, and I wonder why
Yeah.
that is.
I mean, that's just like an objective fact, I
Yeah,
think.
I think people just view the word sensitive as like only a pejorative,
Yeah.
but it's like no, Americans are pretty sensitive about 9/11.
Yeah.
Nowhere did I say that it was wrong to be sensitive about it. I think from a personal standpoint, like you're like 15, bro. You weren't even fucking, you weren't even there,
Yeah.
man. Like you weren't even a thought yet. So like I don't know what you're talking about, but
I
I don't know.
mean, it's like I think okay, I think really what it is they're just looking for a gotcha. They're just looking for something and they
Yeah.
can't bring themselves, and this goes for a lot of people that have these kind of like attitude towards MHA and criticism in general. They can't bring themselves to like when someone calls them out for being toxic or for being like in the wrong on something, they can't bring themselves to just own up to it and just move
Mhm.
on. They have to like, oh no, like see, I'm good because you did this.
Mhm.
I'm good because you did this. And like 90% of the time they're making something up. The other like 5% of that time, it's like at worst bad humor or like, like dark
Yep.
humor. The other 5% of the time, it's like maybe that 5%, okay, that person was doing something a little bit iffy themselves.
Mhm.
But it's so rare and so often. That's why it makes me so mad when people try and go like, "Oh, like it's bad on both sides, guys." Like
It's never been bad on both
it's
sides, bro.
never,
It's it's never happened, man. And
not even once.
I even made like a big effort post like during the Gyro 9/11 drama where I was like, it's very clear. Like maybe unless you're like a toddler, I don't think Gyro genuinely believes that Kohei Horikoshi and Osama bin Laden are brothers. I don't think he believes that.
I don't know, man.
And
You don't know Gyro like I do. No, but
and
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like what bounds of logic are you leaping to get to this point of anger? Like you got to like you got to be like, yeah, like you got to be a toddler. Like you got to be either a toddler mentally or so bitter that you're just like it's just like completely like 90% of the time it's just completely lying. Like it's just
Mhm.
lying and it's crazy.
It's like I think you could be offended over whatever joke you want. I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's not really my business, man. I don't really give a shit. It's mostly an issue when people want to paint whatever they were trying to paint Gyro as back then for that joke. When
Yeah.
I still don't think it was that big of a deal
It really is not that big a deal.
because like I said in my big wall of text, the only way to interpret it as a pro 9/11 joke is to be politically ignorant or also miss the discourse of the past 4 years. And when you go to Gyro's profile and see him following progressives have fucking pronouns in his bio, consider himself queer, etc., you can probably tell it's coming from a progressive standpoint. So it's like,
Yeah.
why would he just go out and be like, I love 9/11? Like, why would he just do that?
This is another thing with Twitter and I guess the MHA community as a whole.
Mhm.
And it's not everyone. It's like different sectors of it, but they do a really they they really love to paint people who are either very clearly like queer in some way or very clearly progressive and are like openly progressive on their pages
Mhm.
as these like whether it be conservative, anti-gay, like homophobic, transphobic, these things like they get like it's very easily like thrown at people and I know because it's happened to me a lot.
Mhm.
Uh like and this was before I was even like out as bisexual, right?
Mhm.
And like I had people telling me I was like homophobic for going like, "Oh man, I don't think Deku and Bakugo were that great friends when they were kids." Or if it was a friendship, it was definitely a toxic friendship because man, he was bullying him. Like look at all these pictures of Deku. He's sad around these other kids.
And in your
And
brain,
they
you're like,
yeah.
hmm,
Hmm,
hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. So it's like and I think that happens a lot and I think that happens increasingly when it comes to criticism. People
Mhm.
try and take a moral standing, and I think that's what happened with Gyro. And I think
Yeah.
Gyro made a joke, and yeah, people can be offended over it if they want to be. I mean, I'm not going to judge anyone for how they feel about certain things, but to like, I mean, it is a joke. And if you
Yeah.
look at where it's coming from, it's not like coming from a place of like genuine comparison,
Mhm.
genuine, whatever.
Or
Poor
is
Gyro.
it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
It is.
know.
It's so crazy how badly people want to pin like everything everyone else does on me too. Like the 9/11
Oh,
joke is pinned on me.
I don't know.
Naya's tweet about like the positive stuff or whatever is like pinned in relation to me somehow.
You are like the boogeyman of
I
MHA
guess
Twitter.
so.
I don't
Okay.
know why. I mean, like, okay, yeah, you are and were a very big voice in the community, right?
hmm
But if you look at your YouTube channel, man, it's been like 4 or 5 months since your last MHA video outside of the retrospective. Like, you posted
it's been 10.
nothing. It's been a very long time. I mean, I'm just looking at the thumbnails,
Mm,
and I see the last thing that has anything to do with MHA in a thumbnail is 5 months ago, where you put the talent versus hard work thing,
yeah.
and after that, it's like another 4, like, I think 3, 4 months or something, where you did like an actual MHA video, or even
Yeah.
longer. I mean,
It was I think it was September 2023 was my last actual dedicated MHA video.
mhm, yeah.
It's almost been a year. Actually, let me look real quick. Yeah, September 3rd, 2023. It was an Ochako video. God rest her
Oh
soul.
yeah, I see it. Do not bring that name up in this.
Sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, you are consistently the boogeyman. I don't know why. I this is one thing that genuinely perplexes me. I don't think like there's actually a reason for any of this. Like, I don't think there's a reason that you in particular are getting this kind of reputation, especially because, like, I don't know, like, I don't think you were ever like openly that critical, at least on your YouTube account. Like, I mean, yeah, there's criticism obviously, but like, in terms of like this like vitriol that people spit at you, you were never like sometimes I get it with Naya, because Naya is very loud and outspoken about their hatred for MHA, right?
Yeah.
And like, okay, I can see why people would have like a negative reaction to that. I don't
Yeah.
agree with that negative reaction, but I can see why people would have a reaction. But you, I feel like you are very like respectful about it. You're very like, especially on even on Twitter, especially on Twitter, because this is happening on Twitter. You never like you tweet very like, I mean, joke like tweeting like a politician, but like you don't tweet that like crazy, like you're not like
Yeah.
anything like that.
The only thing I can think of is that they're mad about like my once or twice a month MHA stream.
Probably, maybe. Yeah, they go in there and they they hear one thing they don't like.
It's
Burrito dog, man.
fucking burrito dog, man. I'm wondering if do you think there's ever a time in history where I can change my burrito dog picture,
Uh, honestly,
or is it like over?
okay. Honestly, you probably could.
Yeah.
I think if you start on your YouTube and do it on your YouTube first, and then do a couple videos without the burrito dog, and then switch it on your Twitter, you could probably get away with it.
You think
I don't
so?
see it being that big a deal. But personally, I'm a fan. I like the burrito dog. I think it's iconic. It doesn't have like the baggage of being like an anime boy Deku fan art. Okay, it doesn't have the baggage. It's funny. It's
You
good.
finally broke out of that though, man.
Oh my god,
You
I've
finally-
never been.
You finally made it, dude.
It took me so long to do that.
The burrito dog has been my Twitter profile picture for genuinely 7 years.
Damn.
Yeah, older than some of the people that are mad at me right now.
Oh yeah. By a couple years.
Yeah,
Too.
and I think I made it my Discord profile picture in 2015, I think.
Wow. I mean, at that point, you can't change it. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
I had to be free
That's-
from it at least in one place though, so I
That's
broke
true,
out of
that's
it.
true.
I broke out of it on Discord.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Something I've always noticed in fandom, especially this past few weeks with like the final chapter and stuff. 99% of online discourse is people fighting ghosts.
True.
And that's especially relevant to like that Nobar thing you were talking about. With like everyone is always ready at all times to fight a straw man. And I don't think they do it on purpose. But like it's so strange because like an example is I even have a screenshot of this so I can read it verbatim. There was that tweet on the 12th that was like, what's something you low-key find disturbing in MHA? You remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, somebody quote retweeted that and said, the fact that Endeavor pretty much got away with what he did to his family. That's, that's their opinion.
Yeah.
They're right, but I digress. It's not inflammatory. It's not really saying anything. And they got a quote retweet that says, "The fact that sickos like you defend Toya, Toga, Shigaraki just because of their tragic backstories, what's disturbing." And it's like, wait, where did that happen? Like, where's the argument?
It's just no. I mean, it's non-existent. It doesn't exist.
Or it's like, if you criticize the ending of MHA, and I got a comment like this yesterday on the Respective, so someone was like, people are just going crazy with the hate, as if Naruto's ending wasn't any less egregious. Who's talking about Naruto? Dude, I haven't watched Naruto since it was on TV when I was a single digit in age. Like, why are you talking to me about Naruto? It's just such a weird phenomenon. I'm sure it's always existed, but it's just like this past few weeks, I've just like been sitting back and hashtag observing, and everything is just a straw man of every argument that I see.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I feel like the straw man thing has always been an issue in everything, right? Like even going back to like even just like basic, like even like politics. Like straw manning has been a forever issue, a forever like constant.
Mm-hmm.
Now you mix that with those 14-year-old MHA fans
Mm-hmm.
who are probably learning about logical fallacies in
Yeah.
their middle school right now or high school or whatever.
In their middle school.
They're learning about it. They're learning about it. They're like, oh, it's a logical fallacy. Straw manning. I see.
Let me incorporate the no.
And then they just, I mean, they apply it. I mean, MHA. I mean, I've noticed it happen so many times. They just like, again, it's like they have to find something to be mad about.
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually look at people criticizing MHA, let alone you, and like you actually watch, like I guarantee you, people who go like on under your video, like, oh man, enough with the MHA hate.
Yeah.
Naruto didn't even whatever. They didn't watch that video.
Also, I'm pretty sure.
First off,
I'm pretty sure Naruto's ending does get a lot of hate.
it does get a lot of hate, and for good reason. Though, in my opinion, it was nowhere near as egregious as MHA, but that's because Kishimoto wasn't scared of just going full Bakudeku. He just did that pretty much. He just went. It would have been like if the entire series Deku was actually written with Bakugo, and the ending was like just centered around them pretty much.
Yeah,
it would have been better than what we got. But yeah,
another example is back like a week or two ago when people were talking about that the fact that there's no female sorcerers in JJK that are like good, that don't die anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone quote retweeted that, and they were like, "Well, the misogyny of Jujutsu Society is the cause, not gay." And I'm like, "Sure, you can make that argument. It's a bad one, but you can make that argument." And someone responded, "I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Gay wrote the Jujutsu Society." Okay, fair argument. And the quote retweet that I saw was, "If you write a world with issues, that means you support said issues." I completely forgot. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Who said that?
It gives me migraines. For sure.
It's like I can't. I'm on big hashtag noticing vibes the past few weeks because like I see it every day, dude. You say anything, a quote retweeted with something you never even thought of.
Man, I wish there was like a more, because like it always like because it's very like farmable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when someone quote tweets with a straw man, it sounds good to the average passerby because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what the discussion's about. They don't know what the topic is. They don't know what the person below it's saying. They just know that like, oh, that kind of ate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it just ratios the shit out of you or whoever. And then it's like, man, now it's like no one ever got what I was saying. There's no discussion to be had. And bring this up. Twitter, social media, this entire like community landscape or these platforms, they're so like, and like, they are the antithesis to basic healthy discussion.
Mm-hmm.
They don't support it in any way. They actively encourage non-healthy discussion, and it's why I like moved away from like writing like analysis and like talking about criticism as much, like, and it's why it's like so hard to do it, because it's like the site is built for people who disagree with you to just like completely run off with it.
Yeah. And the reason I don't even like argue people or fight back anymore is because the word limit just makes it impossible, man.
Yeah.
Or the character limit, rather. It's just like
I'm not paying $5 or whatever it is. I'll
it's
never.
it's not conducive to any conversation whatsoever.
I'm not
But
gonna lie. I don't even think if someone were to respond to me with like a Twitter blue like 3,000 page essay in one tweet, like I'd rather read through that same essay posted in different tweets in a thread than read that one message out of spite,
no
purely
paragraphs,
out of
not
spite.
hitting the enter key, just like one
Yeah.
long one long message. That's how they beat you, is because they don't fucking add paragraph breaks, so
Yeah.
they won the argument because you're not gonna read that shit.
Yeah. I mean, that too, because like if you're actually talking about discussion, actual criticism, actual literary analysis, that shit's long. It can be boring. It can be very long winded. It's hard to explain your entire topic. And I struggle with this because, and I always struggle with this because in my head, I have all of my opinions and all of my rationale on why I'm saying something.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tweet like, man, I remember when Deku didn't fucking suck. I remember when Deku was amazing, and I hate him now. And I wish
True.
Horikoshi could have done better with this character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in my head all the reasons why Deku didn't turn out that great. Well, all the reasons why he was good in the past and bad now. But if I were to explain that to every single person who sees that tweet of me hating on Deku, it would take me, I would have to rewrite the same thread over and over and over again. And if you link a thread to someone, they're not going to read it. Or
Mm-hmm.
if you do, and they do read it, the chances of that actually leading to any discussion is very little. So
Yeah.
like what
Just make a
I'm
video
actually, yeah, just make a video. Exactly. See,
like you
same
did.
wavelength. Yeah, yes, like I did.
Like how would I describe all my issues with Act 3 besides making a 3 hour and 46-minute video?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's way easier to go, okay. And this is another issue with the whole criticism thing and the whole straw manning and everything, because it's so much easier to go, this thing is really good. I love this thing, and get praise for that, compared to saying, man, I don't like this thing. I don't think it's that good.
Mm-hmm.
And like be met with some sort of like understanding or
Mm-hmm.
even basic decency. Like, and I guess that's a thing forever. Like that's been like always like a thing, like historically and everything. I mean, you come at something from a critical angle, you're gonna get some sort of pushback. But
It's
I
so
mean,
irritating.
yeah.
I feel like there's been such a massive anti-intellectual movement when it comes to art for like the past like 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Being
I mean,
critical of art is now inherently negative, whereas
yeah.
being positive about art, no matter what, is inherently a good thing.
If I could like put, if I could like open Twitter and
Yeah.
change something about the layout, I'd like move everything down, and at the very top, unable to move it, I'd put like a big thing like, and it's just like the definition of toxic positivity, and just have them stare at that 24/7, because it's like that doesn't exist in a lot of people's
No.
minds. The idea that you can be positive too much, or you can be like it's like, I don't know. You're right. It's an anti-intellectual movement. It's like there's no such thing as nuance. There's no such thing as even discussion. It's just, oh, you have a negative opinion, bad. Positive
Mm-hmm.
opinion, good, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm sure you've seen it too. It's like the new wave of someone will criticize something, And whether you think it's a fair criticism or not, whatever. But it'll get the quote retweeted with like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of fun. Well, like, why don't you just try to have fun?
Let people have fun again.
Yeah, just let people enjoy
What's going on
things.
with it? Just let people enjoy things. Come on. It's like, okay.
Let me
What,
hate,
what,
bro.
what, let me be a hater. I enjoy hating. I enjoy
Same. It's great.
disliking things. I enjoy openly disliking things. And you know what? You only get to a point, at least for me, you only get to a point where you can openly, at least in my view, at least, I know this isn't true to everyone, but I can only openly hate something like that, like really hate something, if I loved it at one point. I
I
can't
mean, yeah.
have an emotional attachment to something so bad where I'm writing literary criticisms for things like
Because,
on
like,
my personal social media pages of all places. Like I gotta love it at one point. Or at least I have to have cared about it.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, how do I put it? It's like, I don't talk about Mushoku Tensei, even though I think it's one of the worst things I've ever watched. Because I don't care that much. It sucks, and that's fine. And I don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
But, like, bro, I had MHA at a 10 for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are, we're at a 2.
I had MHA at like
An 11.
yeah. I had that. I that was like everything to me. That was like so like I could turn around right now and I can look at like the volumes I have on this bookshelf
Yeah.
nearby. And this series, like man, it was like above love at some points for me. Like it was everything. And I mean, I'm not gonna go on Twitter really and talk about some random movie I watched and I didn't really like. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just move on. It's not that big a deal. I don't care. It's whatever.
I think one of the hardest things to keep in mind, and I think it's because this is just like a human characteristic, which is very unfortunate, is that these people are like really fucking toxic, but there's also not that many of them.
Yeah.
Like an example, despite all of the vitriol and the rage about
Hmm.
my video on Twitter the past 24 hours, it's got a 96% like dislike ratio.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's just that like these people are just like 14 and they're very mad, and there's like 30 of them, as opposed to like the 968 people that liked it.
I mean, vocal minorities always exist,
Mm-hmm.
and it's way worse when it just so happens like we were talking about before with social media kind of being set up to encourage this kind of you know ratio like
Mm-hmm.
behavior. Like it's way easier for someone to get a bunch of support for saying something positive than it is for them saying something negative.
Mm-hmm.
So when these random like in the grand scheme of things insignificant uh like toxic accounts
Mm-hmm.
that do nothing but like harass, drop slurs, whatever. When they're arguing on the timeline, it's way easier for people to see that and see their side is like, oh, this thing is good, and the other side is like, oh, this thing is bad,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the variables, and go like, oh, okay, I'm gonna root for the good thing because I like this thing. And but like I think it's important to remember that just because some random account gets like 3,000 likes on a post about someone else being like negative and bad and their opinion sucks or whatever, like it's just that it's not every single person liking that post that is held in that opinion. It's just that one
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Likes mean shit. Like I mean, at least on Twitter, it doesn't matter. It's so easy to farm and engage and do all these things to change whatever.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it's just a couple people.
Getting cooked on Twitter doesn't mean you were wrong.
True.
What
Real and true.
do you think of the state of Wyoming?
Oh, hold on. Let me look up the
You gotta look
flag.
up what you gotta look up what Wyoming is, huh?
Yeah, let me look up Wyoming. Okay. Bottom tier state.
Bottom tier state?
Okay, listen. I am like middle America, like I hate Middle America. Okay,
Yeah,
I just hate it.
you think these people are evil?
I don't think they're evil.
No,
Plenty of great people here.
no. You hate it, which
I
means you think
just
they're evil. We just talked about this on Twitter. Come on.
true. Let me refrain. Everyone living in the state of Wyoming,
Oh
horrible
shit.
person. They all probably voted for Trump. They're all probably racist. You know, whatever. I don't care. Wyoming sucks. Move on.
Holy shit.
No, but actually, Wyoming. Okay, it's very pretty in these pictures. I mean, it's a very pretty state. But I know more than anyone else the pain of driving through states like this.
Yeah.
And unless you're living here, unless you got some attachment here, I am never. Why would I ever go here? There's no reason. And the flag does not look good. I don't like the flag. So
The best thing about driving through Wyoming, maybe if you didn't go through Colorado for some reason, is you're gonna hit Salt Lake City soon. That's the best part. You're gonna go to Utah.
true.
So on a scale of S, A, B, C, D, F, would you put Wyoming F?
Oh, I'm going. I'm gonna have to go with. I
He
feel
froze.
bad putting it in D, but I gotta put it in D. I don't think there's a lot here, unless you're into rock climbing.
And also, it's one of those shapes a lot of people can't recognize.
Yeah, it's just a square. It's like just a almost like a perfect square.
See,
And
I
don't
know
like
it. I know it perfectly fine because it's a taller square than Colorado, so that's easy for me. How about what do you think about Wisconsin?
Ooh, love-hate relationship with Wisconsin.
Is that so?
You know, I mean, I was never that into football or whatever, but I mean, Green Bay was a big.
Brother.
I mean, Green Bay is one of those teams.
Mhm.
I do like cheese. Wisconsin tends to have good cheese.
Yeah,
Close to Canada.
that's your whole. I love the idea of you like having to look at these on a map and shit to even know where they are.
That's what I'm doing. It's bordering two. Okay, you know what? I got to give it plus because it's bordering two Great Lakes.
Yes, that's true.
It's got access to two Great Lakes. That's pretty good.
It's a blue
And
ticket.
you're pretty close to Chicago, which is like, it's like a food capital or whatever. And I
Yeah.
like Chicago for that reasons, and also the bear.
Oh, true. The bear.
I'd give it.
The bear.
I'd give Wisconsin a solid B,
The bear
or
is
like
doing
upper
what
B.
the bear is doing for Chicago what Breaking Bad did to Albuquerque.
True.
That's-
I hear Albuquerque or New Mexico or whatever, and my
Yeah.
mind lights up. I'm like monkey seeing neuron activation. I know. Perfect.
Seems like an
Okay,
alright
so
place.
Wisconsin's high B, maybe.
High B.
Yeah.
All right. What? Do you know where West Virginia is on the map?
I do. I should. I live on the East Coast. Yes, I do.
Yeah. What do you think about West Virginia? It's trash.
It's not Virginia. And Virginia's kind of Virginia. I mean, like,
Virginia is it's better than West Virginia. It's still
definitely
not
better
great.
than West Virginia. I mean, it's
Still
not
not
great,
great.
but I mean,
My brother used to live in Virginia. And I remember he was talking to me one day and he was like, "Yeah, there's a bunch of Proud Boys like going to go storm the to go storm like the state capitol." And I was like, "Okay. That's cool,
mean-
man." He's like, "Yeah, they're actually like going past my house." And I'm like, "All right, dude, that's sweet." Like, you have a fun in Virginia, man.
it's sad because I'm not surprised, but
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Virginia's not great. It's even worse if your name is like Virginia something, like at least be Virginia. At least have your own name. West
Bro,
Virginia.
you live
I mean,
you live in New Jersey.
listen.
You
We'll
don't
get
even
to New
have
Jersey.
you don't
We'll
even have
get
your
to
own
New
name.
Jersey. We'll get to New Jersey. I never claimed I was consistent with my takes. Okay, I'm just talking.
Fair enough.
It's pretty in the pictures, but like it's gotta go. It's gotta go in C.
C, huh?
No, D.
It's a solid red state. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, D.
Now, I think like my biggest fear in life for like moving somewhere else is like I don't want to accidentally go to like a like a Nazi den, like Oregon.
Yeah, I have a hard time figuring out where I want to, if I would ever want to move, even because
Yeah.
like honestly, we'll get to New Jersey, but like New Jersey is pretty up there in terms of American
hmm
progressiveness.
Yeah, New Jersey seems fine. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it.
The only places I've considered moving, I don't want to go to the East Coast. No offense. I don't want to deal with like blizzards.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
and like and shit like that. So I want to stay on the West Coast. I think like Washington, Oregon, California are some of the best states. Colorado would be interesting too. I think Colorado's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest. Growing up on the East Coast, living through blizzards and stuff, I am like totally not like a hot weather person.
Yeah,
So I don't
same.
think I could ever live anywhere where I always like the idea of moving to Seattle because I
Same,
like
yeah.
rain a lot and I like that weather. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could ever be somewhere where it doesn't at least have a chance of snowing just because I like snow, even though it's annoying. But I mean, I don't know.
Don't let Ozzy listen to this, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Something about wearing a jacket at 62 degrees or something.
It's, dude, I hate living in a hot weather place, man. It's so fucking terrible. How hot does it get in New Jersey?
It gets okay. This year, it's been very hot. It's been like I've been like at least early July. It was like hottest I've ever remembered it being in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not that bad. It's like today it was like it peaked 94, and it's like early August. I mean, it's better on some days, worse on some days. It's around the 80 to 90 range. I don't. It doesn't usually get up that high, but I mean, it's part of why I like New Jersey a lot because it's kind of you get kind of the best of
More
both
moderate.
worlds or the worst of both worlds, you know.
Would you describe New Jersey as like more moderate, or does it have like harsh winters?
Uh, definitely on average moderate,
Mm.
but I remember there being some harsh winters. We get, you know, we get bad hurricanes.
Oh,
We get
oh,
really bad hurricanes. Like we just had a hurricane and it happened because I was okay. So I visited Ohio to see my cousins, and
sounds.
I was driving. uh, Ohio. It's such a bad state, by the way. Like nothing's going on there. And Lake Erie is like I don't know if it's just because I went around a tornado or a tornado hurricane kind of season, but it was not appealing at all. At least where I went. But anyway, I was in Ohio. I was driving back from Ohio to New Jersey, and I passed through the hurricane, and it was so bad. And I already don't love driving. I mean, I'm decent at it because
Mhm.
I've always driven, and I kind of have to drive here.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's bad, and also like it's not even beginning to touch on the coast and like the insane amounts of damage
yeah,
that have happened and will probably happen. Horrible.
yeah. I'm glad I live. The only thing we have to deal with in California are earthquakes, man.
Yeah,
Those are exciting. When your shit starts shaking, you don't know why.
yeah. I mean, okay, we just had one in New Jersey
You did?
not that long ago. Yeah,
Oh
it was
shit.
like the first one in a long time, and I remember everyone making jokes about like it was not very strong. It was very weak.
Mm.
No damage really. It just kind of felt like a truck was passing my house, but I wouldn't actually know for the first one because I slept through it. Like I just slept through it, and then I felt the
Jesus.
aftershock like hours later, and it was like a big truck passing my house, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, but probably nowhere near to the level of what California has to deal with, and I do
Um,
not envy them.
I mean, we get a lot of little earthquakes.
Mhm.
So like the earthquake that you experienced, that happens like somewhere in California. It's like once a week maybe,
Damn.
and then our entire state is designed around this. So like
Yeah, so it's probably better equipped to handle
yeah, so
it.
so when
Could be.
the earthquake starts, we're just kind of like chilling. Nothing really happens.
Yeah. I don't know. The one
Um,
thing I wouldn't be able to get past is the at least I don't know if it's still that bad, but I mean the wildfires. I mean, I remember seeing videos of that. It's like you're playing like that one what is that one COD Zombies map where everything's on
it's
fire.
it's pretty fucking bad, dude. Um, especially because last year California we had such a mild summer last year, which is super uncharacteristic. And because it was such a mild and wet summer, none of the shit that usually burns burned. So this year, there was a lot of shit to burn.
Damn.
I've had way worse wildfire seasons, but this one was pretty bad. It's just like sometimes you go outside and the sun's red, and like all the lighting outside is red.
Yeah.
Or you go outside and like you look on the horizon, and the horizon goes from like blue to dark gray in like a really fast gradient.
Yeah.
And then my nose has been trained for like the smell of smoke. Like I'll just like it's woken me up a few times where I'm just laying in bed and I go, oh shit,
Oh, damn.
sun's on fire.
I mean, I remember it was maybe like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly, but I don't know if you remember when New York was like yellow. Like the whole East Coast. I guess there was a wildfire up
Oh,
in
was it
like
Canada?
yeah, up in Canada.
Yeah,
And the smoke was so bad it like covered the whole East Coast.
yeah.
And I remember for like almost a week, like I walked outside and it was just like a yellow smoke in the air. And I couldn't even in the house, I couldn't breathe.
It's bad, man.
Like my eyes were watering, like it was bad. And I can't even imagine dealing with that on even a kind of consistent basis because I was dying. I was like, oh my god, like holy horrible.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of fucking fires here.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's I don't know. Sometimes nothing really happens to me specifically. I'm talking about sometimes
Yeah.
a lot of shit happens to a lot of people, but you know,
Yeah, not me.
especially because I live in such a massive like metropolitan area in California, so
Yeah.
like the fires will never directly affect me.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe my lungs will go out like 5 years earlier than everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
what are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do?
Did you ever hear about the earthquake in LA that was in like 1994?
Maybe in passing.
It was the 1994 Northridge earthquake, and actually my family was in that earthquake.
Oh damn.
Not me. I'm not that old. I was not involved in
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
My brothers were, and my mom was. Apparently, my brother slept through this one, but it was rated a 6.7 magnitude,
Jeez.
and it caused 13 to 50 billion dollars worth of damage.
Oh my god.
It's-
I'm looking at some of the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that's that much money damage. Oh my
what's
holy.
real freaky about this? Now that I'm looking at this, this happened at 4:30 in the morning in the middle of winter. Can you imagine? Dark
Oh my
as
God.
fuck. You're like your whole neighborhood just starts collapsing.
That's like worst nightmare.
That's actually
For me.
terrifying.
Dark, cold. You're woken up to like your entire town just like
Your-
sliding
Your
down.
roof collapsing.
Yeah. Horrifying.
A lot of people are like, "Aren't you ever afraid of the big one?" And I'm like, "No, dude. When it happens, I don't have to worry about. I'll be gone, bro. I'm
Yeah.
chilling."
Yeah, so I'm never afraid of anything like that because I just know like if that happens, like anything of that scale, I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, there's nothing I can do. So I'm just done. I mean, had a good life. I mean, it's like
What do
whatever.
you expect me to do? Like quote retweeted, be like, "I would step in."
Yeah, I would step in. I would step up. Don't worry.
Sarah, please tape the fault back together.
Did you
Anyway.
hear about that
Oh, what?
crazy earthquake in Alaska? I mean, this might have been like in like the mid 1900s, but I watched a video on it recently,
The
and
one in
it was
1964?
like yeah, the 1964
Oh
one,
my god, it was a 9.2.
9.2. And if you
Holy
look
fuck.
at the pictures from this, at least some of them, like an entire town, like just
Dude.
literally an entire town, just like falls like multiple feet.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of like this giant landslide.
Yeah, like that's insane to me.
And
it's in Alaska too.
Of all places.
Yeah.
Oh no, the J.C. Penney building.
Oh no.
No, the West is falling.
Oh no.
Dude, a 9.0 is crazy.
Crazy.
That's fucking
Especially
scary.
in Alaska of all places where it's
I
like
know.
already like it's Alaska. Like
Yeah,
goddamn, like
you're thinking like the
tough
worst I
in
gotta
it.
deal with is like a bear. Like I'm chilling.
yeah.
and then your town gets deleted from the map. And what sucks about these really big earthquakes are the tsunamis that they can cause too.
Yeah. That's really interesting to me. I always watch like those videos of like Japan gets them all the time. And I think they just got one this year
I think
where it
so,
was
yeah.
crazy bad. But yeah, that's I think a little bit below like in the middle of winter, dead of night, entire everything collapsing. I think witnessing a tsunami and being in the middle of that might be one of my biggest fears because like it's like what do you do? Like it's like you just kind of got to get lucky. It's scary.
Well, on the bright side, you're probably never gonna experience it.
True, true.
Maybe something worse though.
Yeah, yeah,
just
definitely.
just the resigned. Yeah. Do you have any fears of like? Do you have any fears of like space?
Sometimes all my fears of space are like very psychological.
Hmm.
Like if I think about it too long, I kind of get oh, like oh my god,
Like
like
existential.
yeah, existential. I sometimes I struggle comprehending like the scale of it
Hmm.
to the point where it makes me feel like it gets me like in my own head, I guess, because like it's like that scares me. But in terms of like actual space travel, actual like incredibly cool. I love that stuff.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that just like grasping the scale of the universe, it just makes you go like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's like sometimes it's like okay, what's the I guess not the point. I don't really know. I'm not very spiritual.
Yeah.
Or if I am, like it's like very like loose and very like, like, that would be nice. Like shit like that. But like I don't actually like believe these things really.
Hmm.
But when I start thinking about space, it's the only thing, at least to me, where I feel like it kind of pushes against like that intellectual part of me where there's like these like very specific, very like logical answers to things.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, there's of course there's like, answers to things about space
Yeah.
and there's like
But
scientific
there's also a lot that we
reasonings.
don't have for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And it's that part. It's like the part where it's like there's so much that we just don't know.
yeah.
And obviously, like, we'll probably learn a lot about it in the future. But not knowing and like that part of it, and then coupled with the scale and coupled with like, man, like the ever expandingness
Hmm.
of space, that stuff, that kind of gets to me a little bit. That kind of freaks me out a little bit because it's like, oh man, what if I don't know. It's just crazy to think about.
I guess it's stuff like space that makes me understand the origins of like spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
Because like back when they made religion and shit, like when they were cooking in the kitchen for like Christianity and shit,
Yeah.
it makes complete sense why they came to the conclusions they came to. Because without a scientific understanding, this shit doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
Yeah.
And
I mean, try
it's
and like explain that
frightening.
shit to someone who doesn't have like
Yeah.
I mean, like yeah, I you can get like trying to explain to someone like even like basic things that we know now, like microorganisms to
Mhm.
someone that doesn't have like readily available stuff to like explain it to them and show it to them.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, okay, I get why you believe in, a spaghetti monster in the middle of the ocean or something.
It's
I
like
get it.
way, way, way back in the day, like way back when you would look up, you didn't know what a planet was, and you see like millions of pinpoint like lights in the sky for just no fucking reason.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, it's God. Like, what the fuck else would it be?
It's got to be God. I mean, what else?
Like, oh no, actually, I'm on a planet floating around a fucking plasma ball that's floating around another thing that's floating around another thing that's floating around another. No, it's just God. Like, what else would it be?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the concepts, a lot of them are just very hard to like even like knowing how they are and like knowing the scientific reasonings behind things and knowing exactly what things are. Even then, like some of the concepts are so like and I think this is weird because like I don't think anyone ever realizes just how much of like we look at like things like fantasy stories or like these like worlds that people make up and like some of like these basic elements are very like fantasy or phantasmal to us. But like our world from an outside perspective would look almost identical.
We
Like
got crazy world building, bro.
we got crazy world built, like crazy down to the molecular level. Like that's crazy. And it's like so crazy. It's so cool. It's so crazy. And it's understandable why people especially back when these answers aren't there. Like they would just like liken it to some sort of higher being or whatever.
Yeah. It's like the speed of light, dude. That just sounds like power scaling shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
no, dude, nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Oh, you're just power scaling, bro. Like,
you're always approaching the speed of light. You can never go past the speed of light. It's this is impossible. It's literally impossible. Enter Goku.
But yeah, West Virginia is it's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we touched on this one briefly. What do you think about Washington State, dude?
I like Washington State. I don't know a lot about Washington State other than it rains a lot and then there's Seattle there.
It's very
But
pretty.
it's a very pretty state. I like it a lot. I've seen like 100 pictures of that gum wall. I think that's there.
The gum wall. Yeah, it's the Seattle gum wall, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I like coffee. I mean,
coffee. What does coffee have to do with it?
I don't know. Seattle seems like a very like coffee like you go outside, you get some coffee, it rains.
It sounds like New York, bro.
True, but Seattle is less stressful.
Oh, you know,
at least from pictures and stuff.
I should also ask you: have you been to any of the states that we've talked about already, like Wisconsin, West Virginia, Wyoming, Washington?
Wisconsin, West Virginia, Wyoming. I think I've been to West Virginia, passing through it. Like I didn't stop it there.
Sorry to hear that,
man. Yeah. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see whatever West Virginia has to offer. But other than that, no, I haven't been to any of those states.
The only one
unfortunately, I want to be.
The only one I've been to is Washington on this so far. Great, it's very pretty, dude. The coolest thing about Washington is like, you could just be going somewhere and you can like look out the window of your car, and there's just a fucking like big ass mountain in the distance. And it looks so cool.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Washington is like New York City with the landscape of like Middle America, with my perfect weather that I love, because like rain is like my favorite. If it could be raining all the time, I would love it. And like, I don't know, the worst I've ever heard about Seattle is that it has pretty bad noise pollution.
See,
but that's like every city.
The main flaw of Washington sink is that there's more than Seattle.
True.
my two least favorite things about Washington. One is that fucking big ass fuck off body of water and those big fuck off mountains that you can't go in a straight line anywhere in that state. You have to do like a 6-hour detour around like a giant mountain every place you want to go. And second, even though I do like the rain, I do have a $1,000 telescope that I would like to use, so it's kind of annoying.
That's true.
But there's more positives than negatives for Washington by far.
Yeah.
I like that they try to copy everything California does. I think that's fun.
That's true.
Because I like California, so I think they should keep doing that. Beautiful state, good politics. Asterisk. Seattle is nice though.
Yeah, I like Seattle.
I've been to Seattle. It's a nice place. I saw Spider-Man riding a bike there. That was cool.
That's awesome.
I would put Washington in S.
Honestly, me too. I mean, I can't think of many other states that like meet all of my check marks like that. I like it a lot. I mean, I want to live there someday. I think that's like one of my goals. I want to like, at least like for a little bit, because it seems like the experience of living in New York City without the pain and suffering of living in New York City. And that's what I like about it. So S tier.
We should start the gamer house in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
How about Virginia? I've never been there, so everything I know about Virginia is from secondhand information from my brother and also the internet.
All right, so Virginia. I don't hate it, but it's really like plain, you know? Like it's very like, I don't know if you know this or if you can experience this, because honestly I've never been to the West Coast. I don't know how things look there. I assume it's kind of similar, but on the East Coast, in between things that you would know by me saying it, things like I don't know, like the cities or like landmarks or like DC, for example. Everything is just a pattern of the same thing. It's the same stretch of highway with the same, like grouping of like fast food
Yeah.
restaurants or stores. It's that image where it's like, oh, this is America. This is like whatever,
Oh
late
yeah,
stage
with like
capitalism. Yeah.
with like the fucking like the 3 gas stations on like the six
Yeah.
lane highway and
It's
shit.
that one. Exactly that. It's that, suburbs, and that's about it. Like, like that's pretty much it. And
So
Virginia, from what I saw of Virginia, I went to DC and I was in Virginia for a little bit. I wasn't like in it, but I rode through it a little bit. It kind of just seemed like more of the same. DC was very pretty, but unfortunately, we're not
DC was
ranking
pretty.
DC.
Yeah, I've been to
Yeah,
DC before.
yeah, I like DC a lot, but yeah, Virginia is kind of very middling. Very like, it's not horrific. It's not
It's
like West
America.
Virginia. It's America.
It's America.
Yeah. So I think I'd have to give it like a C.
Fair
I
enough.
think
Fair
it's
enough.
very it's whatever.
I wouldn't put it in any higher than C after what I heard
Yeah.
about the Proud Boys. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about that too. C minus.
C minus. The next state is Vermont, which I've never been to, but that's the state where Bernie is the senator, so it's a good state.
I like that state. I like Vermont because it feels like Canada, but it's not Canada.
Yeah. I've never been to Canada either.
I've been to Canada, like I've been to like the Niagara Falls
Oh, I
on
thought
the
that was
Canadian
nice.
side. It was nice, yeah. To be honest, it's so run down. Like the actual waterfall is very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But the area around it, especially the New York side is horrific. Like it's
Really?
the most like doomer late stage capitalism thing you can ever imagine, and it's hard to
Jesus.
describe without actually riding by it. But it's like, you ever watch that horror movie where they go to this like Airbnb and it's like one good house and everything around it is just broken down and like
Yeah.
abandoned? It's that
Yeah.
on steroids
Was
somehow.
that Barbarian?
Yeah, Barbarian.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, great movie. It's that on steroids, but in like a city-ish kind of like tourist trap vibe, which is even worse somehow. The Canadian side was actually not that bad. I went to the Canadian side. I stayed there.
As soon as you crossed nation lines,
As soon as I crossed nation-wise, it got better. And like the placebo effect of me thinking all Canadians are very nice worked very well because everyone seemed to be very nice there.
I mean, caper is the only evidence we need.
It's true. It's true.
So Vermont, anyway, back to Vermont.
Yeah, back to Vermont. Vermont, I'm gonna just give it like a B. I don't think there's anything that's a huge standout there aside from, I guess, Bernie. But I mean, I don't B plus maybe, or maybe
Sure.
low A. I don't know. I feel like I'm too.
I think B's fine.
Yeah, B's fine. Yeah.
Now, this is a state I haven't been to, and I actually don't know anything. You might not. I don't think anyone knows anything about this state. Utah?
Utah. Hold on, let me.
They're probably racist, so keep that in mind.
True.
Oh, but it has Salt Lake City, which is very pretty.
They have Salt Lake City. They have some of the best like canyon mountain ranges in America, I think.
The nature of Utah might carry its ranking here.
Yeah, honestly, I think the nature kind of really carries it. I mean, very pretty. I watched like people on YouTube do these like, like camper life, like van life, like where they just kind of travel around in their van. I remember someone driving through Utah, and it looked like a painting every time they like turned the camera, and like everywhere they drove just looked like a painting. And I think that's probably gonna like hard carry here.
So Utah getting the pretty tax.
Yeah, Utah's getting the pretty tax. I think A. I think A is
A.
Yeah. No.
Whoa.
What does Utah have to offer besides being pretty? But being pretty can get you very far. I don't know. It's not very, B.
All I'm gonna say is
Final
Utah.
answer.
Utah is a hard red state, bro. That's all I'm saying.
B minus.
Okay,
Listen.
I put it below Wisconsin. How about that?
Listen, in every red state, there's some progressive kid out there sobbing that he
Yeah,
lives there. Yep.
true. But it's still a hard red state, so the whole state's gotta
True.
go.
True. Fuck the state. Fuck it all.
Oh Jesus, I haven't been to this one, but we all know about it. Texas.
Texas.
This
Good
place
old
fucking
Texas.
blows, dude.
It blows. It's like I don't know why. I mean, okay, so it's kind of flipping. I keep seeing that it looks like it's about to go blue, but I don't know if it is yet, or if it's like on the cusp of it. But I think it's almost entirely because everyone keeps moving to like Austin or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of Cali transplants that
Yeah,
move to Texas.
because the taxes are really low or something. And
Yeah.
but other than that, Texas. Okay,
Dude,
well,
the taxes are really low, and you can tell because their power grid fails every December.
yep, true, very
Because
true.
they have a
very true.
privatized power grid that they don't
Yep.
have hooked up to the rest of the nation or some stupid shit like that.
Let Texas secede. Fuck it. Just let it happen. I don't care. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god,
mean,
Bartow
who
will be an
knows?
American citizen. What's he gonna do with himself?
He'll be more American than anyone else. Okay. Okay, Texas. I think this is like okay, pros, right? It's like the biggest, right? Like it's big.
Is that the pro?
That's a pro. Because like you gotta like after a certain point, like okay,
Isn't
you're big, right?
Alaska's the biggest though.
Alaska is the biggest, but I mean like mainland USA, right?
Okay.
I'm talking from the perspective of like fucking, hard hat wearing or, whatever. Americans. Yeah, Alaska's Alaska. Texas, after a certain point of getting big, you're just big, okay? But then Texas goes even bigger and it's like, okay, but look at me,
And then they
So
go
that's
big,
like
they go even
and
bigger, and
then
they're
they go
like,
even bigger.
we gotta secure our border.
Damn right. And then they secede and then it happens. Other than that, Austin doesn't seem that great a place. It kind of just seems like the place where all the influencers go because they don't have to pay as many taxes on their mansions.
I didn't hear a single pro in that list besides they're big.
I don't think there is any other pros. I mean,
Dude, you have to
maybe
be
the
in
bar.
same
Okay, maybe
state
the
as Ted
food. Okay, you know what?
Cruz.
True. I have been neglecting food. Okay, Texas probably objectively has very good food.
Oh yeah,
That's a
you
pro.
missed out on that Utah food, dude.
Yeah, that Utah food. I know Texas has to have good food. Cause like, why else? Why else are you driving 4 hours to get between counties? And I know it's good food, but that's like the two pluses. It's big.
It's
it has
big.
good food.
It's big and it has sustenance.
True.
It has the tools necessary for human survival, unless it's winter.
Unless it's winter. Unless it's winter. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I think D. I don't think
it's
there's a
F.
lot here. F. Yeah. I'm gonna go D because I'm nice.
Bottom of D.
Bottom of D.
Hanging out with Wyoming
D
currently.
minus. Yep.
All right. Do you know where this is on the map? Tennessee.
Tennessee. I think I know where it is. I wouldn't know, like I wouldn't be able to point to it, but I know the general area.
It's above Alabama and Mississippi.
Okay, first off, get it right off the bat. Flag, bad flag. Okay,
Fair
bad
enough.
flag. Shape of the state, weak. Incredibly weak. It's very weak. I don't like the shape. It doesn't look good. Tennessee. There's that one song, Tennessee Whiskey.
Mhm.
So I guess they got whiskey. There's some forests that look decent. Nashville is in Tennessee. Ooh, okay. Nashville's
no.
okay. Nashville is okay. It's not great though. Like it's
No,
okay.
I've never been there.
I've never been there either.
Nor do I hear anything about it ever.
But okay. Nashville is recognizable. Okay, that immediately puts them on the map of not being like bottom tier because they have to have something recognizable.
See, I knew a guy who I used to work with from Georgia who also had a short stint in Nashville. And he's not white, and he had very bad experiences in Tennessee.
Yep. That's another thing. See, it's recognizable, but it might not be for good reasons.
It's recognizable. Okay.
I think this honestly, This might be the first F tier for me. I don't think there's
Damn,
anything good
really?
here. I don't like it. I don't like Tennessee. I hate it.
Yeah, sure. Fuck, I don't care. Fuck Tennessee.
Fuck Tennessee.
I'm
Who
never
cares?
going there.
Yeah.
I don't care. Um, Another place I have not been and I'll probably never go to is Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah, next to Illinois, below Iowa.
Uh, it's next to Illinois, which gives it's kind of whatever. It's kind of okay.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know anything about Missouri.
Me either.
Never heard any,
I
never heard anything
couldn't tell
about
you
it.
a single thing about Missouri.
I know
to be
it's a red
honest.
state, and that's about it. It's a solid red state.
Oh, you know what? You know what Missouri has? Oh, okay.
St. Louis.
It has the St. Louis Arch,
Yeah.
which appeared in Percy Jackson
I
and
thought
the Lightning Thief.
I thought the arch was very cool when I was like 7 years old.
I would not want to go visit the Arch.
You would love to look
But
at pictures of it.
I like looking at pictures of the Arch, and I like the fact that it's in Percy Jackson.
Okay. So that's
I
gonna
like
save
Percy
it from
Jackson.
F, isn't it?
Save it from F. Put it
Percy
in like
Jackson.
high D.
Percy Jackson did to Missouri what the Bear did to Chicago and what
True.
Breaking Bad did to Albuquerque.
You know, if you think about it, Percy Jackson is pulling way more weight than the Bear, to be honest.
Fair
Because
enough.
what else does Missouri have?
I'll put it in D just because I don't care. I don't care about
Yeah,
Missouri. I don't think about
Put
it.
it in D.
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
I have never been to South Dakota, but believe it or not, even though I've never met anybody else from South Dakota, I have family from South Dakota. Which personally is a mind-boggling concept.
You know, it's another one of those states that is like in the middle, where it's like, does this really matter?
Solid red state,
Solid red state,
easily
got-
recognizable on Google on GeoGuessr because the camera quality is still lower generation, and also it's all flat, so you can tell when you're in South Dakota.
It's got like the war criminal slave monument,
Oh,
also
it
known
does.
as the
You're right.
also known as the
You're
Mount
right.
Rushmore or whatever.
I always forget that's in South Dakota.
Yeah, South Dakota for some reason. I don't know why it's there, but there. These pictures show a lot of rocks. Actually, you know what? I think Mount Rushmore might actually put it in F for me. I don't think South Dakota has anything going for it, and Mount Rushmore is definitely not a good thing for it. So it's got to be F.
Better or worse than Tennessee?
Worse. Worse.
Okay. Fair enough. I think this shape is South Carolina, which I have never been to and never will.
South Carolina. Okay.
Only thing I know about it is solid red state.
Yeah, it's a solid red state. I've been to North Carolina. Very pretty beaches there, but that's not South Carolina. I'm sure there's pretty beaches in South Carolina, but I mean, it's like Virginia. It's like New Jersey light, you know? Okay, so the East Coast of America is like one of two things, right? It's New York and up and New Jersey and down, right? That's how you split it. Everything up of New York is New York light. And that's not New York City. Like that's like the New York State or whatever. Yeah. So it's New York light. Aside from like you have like Long Island that kind of follows with New York City or whatever. Everything below New Jersey just gets progressively less good, and it kind of looks the same. You know, you got the beaches, which is a plus, but like it's just whatever on the other side.
So the further down we go, the worse it gets, and because North Carolina is almost at the bottom, that means it's almost the worst.
True. I mean, true, but it's like it's not. It couldn't. Georgia is not worse. I'll say that because there's pluses to Georgia at least. But South Carolina is kind of just whatever. I'm gonna give it like a C.
Okay.
Right next to Virginia, I think.
Okay. Yeah. The Family Guy state. Do you know where that is?
That is Long Island, right?
No, it's Rhode
Island. One of the islands. Yeah.
That's the Family Guy state, right?
Yeah. Family Guy state. That's the only
That's
thing
the
they
only
have.
thing I know about.
Rhode Island. Okay. I don't like Rhode Island because you know what? I take that back. I learned a lot about Rhode Island when I was a kid, but
Mhm.
I didn't take in a lot of that because
Mhm.
I don't know why I learned about a lot of about Rhode Island for some reason. It's just my school system, I guess, taught a lot. But I like lighthouses and I like
Ooh.
shores and I like boats and I like that little like that vibe. I like that aesthetic a lot. And I think Rhode Island has a lot of that. Now, the rest of the state, I don't know. I think that's it. I think
Hmm.
that's all they have. I think that's just I
Lighthouse and
think it's
Family
all
Guy.
coast. Yeah, Lighthouse and Family Guy. Which I mean, there's way worse states.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you could
think
be Tennessee.
you could be Tennessee or South Dakota.
I think Rhode Island is probably okay.
It's pretty okay. It's
It's
probably
probably
like
above Virginia.
above Virginia. I'm gonna give it a B. I think.
Okay, bottom B. How about that?
Yeah, bottom B. I think it's pretty good.
You've probably been here. I haven't, but I've known quite a few people from the state, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah. Okay. I've been here so many times. It's exhausting. Um,
I just
this is,
figure that like if you live in that area, you've probably been to Pennsylvania a bunch. Like I don't know.
yeah, it's like the tri-state area. I've
Yeah.
been okay. Actually, you know what? Pennsylvania is gonna be pretty high for me
Really?
because I forgot about Philadelphia, and I really
Uh,
like Philadelphia. I've been to Philadelphia maybe like 8 times.
hmm.
For school trips, just going, seeing concerts there and stuff. It's very cool. It's like one of those places like like when you see history and it's like one of those things where it's like you don't really tell that it's history because it's
Mhm.
all just still being used.
Mhm.
Everywhere in Philadelphia is just like that. Like the
That's fair. Yeah.
ground, every building, everything is just constantly like man, this is like really like cool history stuff. Um then you have like my only other experience with Pennsylvania is like the Poconos, which I don't know if you know what the Poconos is, but it's like this
No.
like area somewhere upper middle where there's a lot of like vacationing spots for some reason. Like a lot of
Mhm.
like hotels and is the Amish are there. A lot of Amish people are there.
That's true. That's true.
Um honestly, other than their kind of weird politics, there's a lot of red people like a lot of red like
Yeah.
densely red
It's a swing
kind of
state that
areas.
shouldn't be a swing state.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Philadelphia and probably Pittsburgh does a lot of heavy lifting with that.
It's
But
crazy how you're right below New York
yeah,
and right above is it Maryland or is it Massachusetts? And
one
then
of the two.
right next to New Jersey, and you're a swing state. How the fuck does that happen, bro? Where's the influence?
Listen, this is why if New York State was its own, like if New York, like the state part of it was
Yeah.
its own, it'd probably be very similar,
Yeah.
if not way more solid red, because it's everyone who's like, it's all the rich,
Yeah.
okay, all the rich parents pretty much, or like the rich people who either used to live in New York or in like the densely populated areas, like the city areas. They all kind of retire or they buy
Hmm.
houses deeper in.
Hmm.
So you just get a lot of like very conservative people there. And I guess that's whatever. I mean, it's a swing state, but I think everything has going for it. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty state. It's a lot of history. I like their museums. I like everything. I'm gonna
Honestly,
give it like
unless
I'm gonna
there's
give it
an
like an
go on.
A, maybe A, low A.
Sure. Unless there's an exception that I'm not aware of. Like every East Coast state that I've seen has been pretty. It's pretty. I really like the old East Coast architecture too.
Yeah, it doesn't clash that well with like this like modern
Yeah.
kind of like I don't know, like this modern like you see like fast food restaurants
Hmm.
build their things and it's like everything like looks like this weird like dystopian like kind of no places to sit.
you
Everything's
have
white
you
or
have the
gray.
square,
Yeah, the square, the square,
the square,
as
and
you know.
then you have like some beautiful houses that were made like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Then
So
you have McDonald's in a square.
yeah. You know what? Philadelphia does one of the things that I really like is it does like that integration thing where I don't love it, but it's better than the alternative where like they will take these older buildings and they'll just kind of have like these newer stores in them, I guess.
Mm,
So they'll kind of build around the existing infrastructure
I
and it
see.
makes things look pretty cool.
That's
And I like
interesting.
that. Yeah.
You ever been to Oregon? Oh no, you said you'd never been to the West Coast at all,
Yeah. Unfortunately. No day.
huh? Oregon. Oregon seems like the worst of California and Washington. It's like stuck in the middle. Like
Mm.
Washington looks better, but
Yeah.
also like California is just better. So then like why do you even live in Oregon? And then also your house catches on fire.
True.
And then Proud Boys storm your capital, but then you still go blue, hard blue, because of Portland.
Yeah. I mean, Portland, Oregon, doing some lifting here.
Yeah.
Uh, you're probably right that it's got like the short end of both sticks. I mean, from I look up Oregon and one of the first things that come up is this like big pit of water
that's
that
that's the
looks
pit,
like
dude.
the pit. That looks cool.
That's the pit, man.
Yeah. I mean, that looks cool.
Portland does have a nice airport.
Yeah. I mean, no Denver.
No, I've never been to. I'll go to
I've
Denver
never been
Airport
to
soon.
I've never been to Denver Airport, but I've heard many good things.
I'll get back to you when I go. 'Cause I'll be going this year.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oregon is okay. It's in my top 5, not because I like it that much, but because it's got aspects of both Washington and California, which are my favorite states.
Yeah. I mean it's like hard carried by the fact that it's like in that belt
Yeah.
of like good states. And it kind of while it does take the shorter end of the stick of them, like it does still benefit from a lot of it.
Hmm.
And it does look pretty. And I like it having a coast. That's another thing. I hate states that don't have coasts.
So
I like
when we get to
coasts.
Kansas, you're gonna be pissed off.
Don't get me started. But yeah, Oregon, I'm gonna give it. I think it's a comfortable like A, like
I
high
agree.
A.
Yeah, I put it above Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh brother, this one. Oklahoma. Never ask them what the
Oklahoma.
panhandle is for, bro. Never ask them where that came from.
uh, I don't know, like C, D, maybe. I don't know.
It's
Oklahoma's a
D.
red state, right?
Solid.
Solid,
Super
deep
solid red
red
state.
state. I'm gonna give it a D.
It's a
I
deep
don't. There's
state
not a
state.
lot here. I don't like Oklahoma. I like the way it sounds because it's like it's in the sea of like all these like other names and like Oklahoma's fun to say, kinda,
Uh-huh.
but it's kind of got a fun shape. It's above Texas, so it's like kind of like dragged down by the fact that it's so close to Texas,
True, yeah. And Kansas and Arkansas and
Kansas, and
Missouri
Arkansas,
and
and New
Louisiana.
Mexico, and Louisiana. Louisiana is gonna be so high. Oh,
Huh?
okay. Oklahoma. Okay, listen. New Orleans will carry. Trust me. Right?
Okay.
Anyway, Oklahoma. I don't know, like a D,
Yeah, I agree.
low D. I think. I don't.
See, you've been to this one. I haven't, but I've heard many tales, and it's a meme state, Ohio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I find Ohio to be depressing. I'll give a little tale. Okay. Last week, right? I was in Ohio for a full week
Yeah.
and I stayed in Cleveland. And this hurricane that hit, the rain wasn't that bad. It was the wind that was really bad.
Mhm.
And the day after, nothing seemed amiss,
Mhm.
We're taking a drive down like to like Lake Erie or something because we wanted to go check it out and see if like one of the beaches there were kind of like okay. We wanted to see if that was good. So we
Mhm.
go down there. First thing, the wind is so high that it like makes it impossible to go on the beach because not only is the water like ripping against the rocks and the sand, but like you step out of a car and like your hat flies off. Like it's actually like horrific. You look
Mhm.
around, there are gravel mounds and factories as far as the eye can see. Like this is like textbook like factory like land. Like I don't know how there's that many factories, but it's everywhere. Like factory after factory after factory. The Airbnb I think we stayed at was like 100 feet from this factory, and it was like blowing like hard like fire into the sky every night, and
Holy
it
fuck.
felt like
It's like a
it,
villain lair.
exactly. It felt like the state. It felt like everything that they say about it, if you could write America as a dystopia,
It's Ohio.
it's Ohio.
And
Okay,
then plus
it's not that bad.
there's the train derailments that happen in
The
Ohio too.
train derailments, the whatever
It's a
issues that came with
hellscape.
that. It's a hellscape. It's not good. It's not good. Also, on the way back, we go to another park that's like bordering Lake Erie, and
Yeah.
this is less of a beach, more of a park, and it's very pretty, Lake Erie, by the way.
Mhm.
But and Cleveland is, it's not a bad city to look at. I guess it's kind of weak, very weak.
Mhm.
But everyone in the area doesn't have service. Every other traffic light out, like actually out, like fully out. Someone comes up to me and goes like, "Hey, excuse me, I'm sorry. Do you know where I could get information on when the service is going to come back?" And I felt so bad having to tell her that like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm from New Jersey. I had no idea." And it was like rough. It was pretty rough. The food
Yeah.
was like mid. There was like one good place we went to. It was okay. The general vibes are very like conservative.
Yeah.
Very like it's just a very weird experience. I don't like it. I wouldn't consciously want to go there unless like the only reason I went there is because I have family there.
Mhm.
Um I'm gonna give it like D, I think, unfortunately.
Only wow, with all that shit, I thought it was going F.
Yeah. Low D. It's not F
Okay.
because it's not like I didn't have a horrible experience even with a hurricane, which means either they're so used to having bad experiences over there that they've learned to deal with it.
Mhm.
But to be honest, I think Lake Erie is kind of carrying because I thought it was
Okay.
pretty.
Yeah, there's a lot of nature tax in these states for you, huh?
Yeah.
How about North Dakota?
Unfortunately.
What do you have
North
to say for North
Dakota,
Dakota?
North Dakota, you know what? I like North better than South. Uh, like outside of
You
Dakota,
got
I
your
just like the
Googling
word
and shit.
North. Yeah, I just like the word North. Okay, I just like the word
Okay.
North better than South. Um,
Was that Kanye's logic when he named his child?
Probably.
It's-
Um, hmm, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna put it where South Dakota is,
but one up.
but one up. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
pretty
it's an
much the
F.
same thing. It's in F, but it's like one up because like what else is here? There's
Yeah.
nothing here. Doesn't even look that pretty.
North Carolina. You'd like North,
I do like North. It's
and
better than South Carolina.
it's a swing state this election,
Yeah.
which is interesting. It's one above South
I
Carolina.
It's true. It's very true. So it's got to be better than South Carolina.
Yeah, at the very least.
Better than Virginia, just because the beaches here are pretty good. Um, yeah, I mean it's like the same thing every other East Coast state. It's kind of just whatever. I think this one's a swing state, so it's got to be better. Um,
Maybe high
yeah,
C.
high C, yeah. As long as it's above Virginia,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's fine.
Ooh, heavy hitter here, New York. I've actually
New
been here.
York. I am a New York glazer. Okay,
It's a nice state.
I love New York. It's
And
very nice.
my experience was not tainted by NYC because I've never been there. I've only been to around NYC.
Okay, so we're gonna have differing opinions here
Yeah,
because everything I love about it is NYC.
it's a nice place though. I liked.
It,
I mean,
yeah,
every East Coast state looks nice.
it's it's very pretty. The city is very pretty. It's one of those things where like you see a picture and then you go there in person and it somehow looks better in person.
Yeah.
I love the vibes, the aesthetic. I used to really want to live in New York City because like I don't know, like the idea of living in like an apartment in a city like that at that scale
Mhm.
always appealed to me. But like when I turned like 16, 17 and I started like, gaining consciousness, I guess. I do not want to, especially with some of the issues they've been having. But
Mhm.
I mean, in terms of like a visiting, or like if I were to work there or visit there consistently, it's very nice, very pretty. It's
Yeah.
very hectic, very stressful, but you get used to that after like maybe 2 times you go. The state side of it, uh, it's very pretty. I mean, it's also very like one of those places where I'd be concerned to like stop in a random like town and stay, because it really like, and I had to drive because when I went to Niagara Falls, we had to drive through New York State,
Mhm.
and like I remember as we were driving, I was just going like man, like no one's checking on anyone out here. Like there's just stretches of like nothing,
Yeah.
and like it's so remote, and it feels like you could really get away with some hate crimes.
Wow.
It probably happens a lot. But that being said, I'm a glazer. I will forever glaze New York because I like it.
I think it's B.
Um, it's B. Yeah, I'd give it like A minus, like low A.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think it's a solid state. I like it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I can't speak on it too strongly because I haven't been to the place in New York that everyone knows and thinks about when they think of New York.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Breaking Bad state, dude. New Mexico. I hear this
New
place
Mexico.
sucks.
Yeah. Didn't they film it there because like it
It's
was so bad that they let them like have more money or something,
yeah,
or better?
almost every time people film outside of California is because of tax breaks. That's why
Yeah.
like I think it's been so long since I read the Walking Dead comics. I don't remember if they. I'm pretty sure
I
they take
think they
place in
filmed in
Georgia still.
Atlanta, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Georgia, yeah.
yeah. The show actually did film in Atlanta and Georgia for the tax
Yeah.
break.
Well, and when we get to Georgia, I guess we could talk about it, but they have like a
Yeah,
big like sets and
yeah.
these things that are used very often by a lot of different companies and stuff. But
Hmm.
New Mexico, Albuquerque tax bumps it up from like an F to a D. I don't like, see, same issue with West Virginia. I don't like that it's just Mexico but new. Uh,
Mexico, but new.
it seems very, appropriative of the culture of Mexico. I don't like it. I don't like
I see.
that there's nothing else there, but it makes my mind light up because Albuquerque, New Mexico,
Because you can go
Breaking
to
Bad,
you can go to Los Pollos Hermanos,
true, and
get
you
some
can
chicken.
ride by the
You
Walter
can,
White
you can
House
ride by the Walter White House while he
and
fucking
see,
throws rocks at your car.
yeah. So I think low D
I agree. Yeah,
because of Albuquerque. Other than that, yeah,
I'm putting it above Texas and Ohio.
okay, that's fair.
Ooh, we made it. New Jersey, New Jersey.
New Jersey, New Jersey. Okay.
I'll let you, because I have nothing to say about New Jersey.
Okay. Okay. I make a lot of jokes about New Jersey, and I'm the first to criticize it, but I can't lie. I find it hard to believe there's a more well-rounded place in America that's at least like on the level that like California, maybe Washington, in that realm of like it's very diverse. The schools here are really good. It's very progressive, for the most part, at least. I mean, what happens with New Jersey is like you ride like 20 minutes sometimes west, and you hit like a long stretch of just like Trump supporters. Like you get nothing but Trump flags outside their house.
Don't go
You know,
20 minutes out, otherwise you hit the Klan
don't go,
rallies.
don't. Yeah, exactly. But there's so many people in New Jersey, and it's so densely populated that it's like one of the deepest blue states there is. Um, it feels very like there's like a surprising amount of like I do a lot of like research into like livable and walkable areas in
Real.
yeah, and and New Jersey, I think Jersey City it is that has the most it's like the most walkable city in America
That's pretty
is
good.
Jersey City. And I've been to Jersey City. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. Some parts are very dangerous, but with every city, it's like that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I like the coasts. I think the beaches. I think the water quality is surprisingly good. Sometimes it's like, it's like shit, but like it's what are you gonna do? It's the
Yeah.
East Coast. Uh, it does okay. Going into New York is when you hit the smog. Okay, the 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 long history of like New Jersey smog and that shit smelling like trash. It's horrible. I feel so bad for the people who live by those by that river and by like that entire bridge area because it's
Damn.
nothing but factories and it just smells like garbage. But like you go like 10 minutes, not even 5 minutes past that into New Jersey and it stops smelling.
Okay.
Very pretty state. It's not like anything to like write home about in terms of its like pretty nature level, but it does
Mhm.
have some spots that are nice. I do like living here. If I didn't live here, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near as progressive leftist as I am today because my school was like I was like one of like maybe 10, 15, 20 white kids in a school of like 2,000.
Mhm.
That being said, uh, New Jersey has like a very bad like dense population issue. At least where I am, my school was built for like 1,400, and we had over 2,000 in there, and it
Wow.
was
Wow.
bad. It was like you couldn't walk through the hallways, and they banned backpacks
Oh
because it
my
was so bad.
god.
They banned not because of a school shooter threat. They
Yeah,
banned
it's
backpacks. They
funny
banned it because it was just not enough room.
because you said that. That
Uh,
was my first thought before I was like, oh wait, it's because he can't walk in the hallways. At first I was like, oh
yeah,
yeah, people are killing each other, so that makes sense.
yeah, of course, yeah. Um, okay, a funny anecdote because I've never told this, but I do want to say it because I think there's nowhere else that I'll ever get to say this. But in my high school, right? My high school, I'm not going to say the exact name, but it's like one of the highest
Don't.
ranked high schools in America, right? Like it's
Mhm.
actually very high ranked. It's not actually that good, but like our test scores are crazy high. So, and the teachers are pretty decent, but uh during 2020, before before lockdown, it might have been 2019. Before lockdown, during the whole George Floyd kind of BLM movement, around that time, we had like an assembly where like we have dance classes in that school, and in those dance classes, like they put on these assemblies where like they'll have speakers come or just they'll have like the principal talk about some like stuff that's happening going on, and they had the dance class wearing uh white lives matter shirts, all lives matter shirts,
Oh
and black
brother.
lives matter shirts. Now me and my friend, we are like sometimes we thought we were the only like awake people in this school.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like we're woke and they're not. I mean like conscious. Like I sometimes we thought we were like the only conscious people in this school who actually saw things that were going on. Because when this happened, me and him turned to each other and like our jaws dropped and like we just didn't say anything and we just sat through the whole thing. And then everyone just got up, moved on. It just continued like the normal day happening. Like and what's even worse is like that group was made up of like was a very diverse group of kids dancing,
Yeah.
and it was very strange and it was very like oh
They
my
thought they
god,
cooked.
they thought they cooked, they thought they I'm pretty sure the dance instructor was white, which might explain some things. But that being said, population issues, like very densely populated, its infrastructure is pretty decent, but hurricanes are bad. Snowstorms can be bad pretty a lot. But overall, I think this is like probably I would put this in my top 3 states. I would put it S.
I'll put it S just for you, dude,
Thank you. I
because I
appreciate
don't
it.
know any better. Because
Yep.
I have no clue. You're the only person I've ever met in my entire life in New Jersey. And now I'll meet my second person someday. They'll be like, "Yeah, that place fucking blows."
Yeah, I mean it does sometimes. I can't lie.
I mean, every state blows. It's
Yeah, but I mean
like
like in America there's very few states that
yeah,
like you can say kind of don't blow. So when they do not blow
Yeah,
all the way, you gotta really ride for them.
it's like the way it is for you and I as leftists. Every state sucks,
Yeah,
but there's ones that are way better than others.
true, very true.
So like if we really wanted to be super critical about it, we could put like we could max out the tier list at like C if we really wanted to. But like there's no fun in
I mean,
that.
yeah, there's no fun in that. I mean, I could get into like the issues with how they've been saying they've been trying to build this Amtrak line in New Jersey for like,
Oh brother.
oh my God, 15 years at this point. And every single time they get a new mayor or a new congressman, they come in, they go like, oh, we're going to put this amount of money towards it. And then it just doesn't get built.
Yeah.
Oh, it's infuriating.
No, same thing happens with California, except we've been trying to build like high speed rail between our biggest cities, and the main reason we can't, Elon Musk, he blocks it every time.
Didn't he like build like a tunnel underground or something?
Yeah, that's why he's blocking it. It's because he wants to make a stupid fucking tunnel.
Jeez.
His death trap. The next state is New Hampshire.
Hampshire.
I've never been there.
Boston, right?
No, Boston's in Massachusetts.
Close to Boston.
it's
It's like right above Boston.
It's got the Boston aura.
It does have the Boston aura. I can't lie. It's okay. I mean, it doesn't seem like
kind
there's
of a
many
nothing
things.
state.
Yeah, kind of a nothing state. Doesn't really, not a lot happens.
I mean,
Spent a long time on New Jersey. I don't want to spend a long time on
I'll
New
just
Hampshire.
put this in
It's
middle of C and move on.
yeah, middle of the sea is good.
Oh, Nevada.
Nevada.
Las Vegas sucks. Have you been
Yeah,
there?
no, but
It's ass.
my parents want to take me there for my 21st birthday.
Oh wow.
And if I had the option, I'd much rather like go abroad.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Or like any other state.
yeah, I would go a lot of different places, but it means a lot to them, so I'm gonna go.
They should take you to Washington instead.
Yeah, true, very true.
What? Why?
Yep.
Why do they want to take you to Las Vegas?
I think it's like the gambling aspect.
That sucks though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like okay, you go to Las Vegas, you party, you gamble. I guess there's like some food there. I guess there's. I could drive 3 hours and see the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not. Is it a blue state? It's not. Is it a blue state?
It's a swing state.
Swing state. Yeah.
Somehow.
I think this is like a C, somewhere in the C's.
I would
'Cause,
put it,
like-
I would put it D.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. Like, because Las Vegas, even though it kind of does suck, it does have the aura. You know,
Yeah, the
like the name
stench.
branding, the stench. Yeah. So it kind of lifts it up a little bit. But other than that, it's not that great.
I'm gonna put it at the very, very tippy top of D.
Okay.
Which, if you have lost track, is our longest. It's our longest tier. Ooh, Nebraska.
Nebraska.
And now this has got no ocean tax for you.
No ocean tax.
No lake tax.
No lake tax. Nebraska.
It's one of those stupid states that has those little electoral districts. So when you're
True.
filling out the interactive electoral college maps, you have to fill out the districts too instead of just the state.
This might be another F. Because like at least like when things suck, you know, they have things there.
Yeah.
This is nothing going on here.
It's got Omaha.
True.
See,
But like what's in Omaha?
So forgettable. You didn't think about Omaha.
Yeah, but like what's in Omaha, you know? It's like Omaha. I guess I recognize the name Omaha. It's like about it.
Yeah, it's F. I agree. I'm putting it top
Yeah, it's
F because there's still Tennessee, North Dakota, South Dakota. Fuck those places.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, Montana.
Ugh.
What does it even do?
Montana. I don't know. Hold on, let me do my research.
There's
Montana.
I know there's Billings, Montana, which literally who?
Moose.
I'd rather just go to Alaska for that.
Yeah. That's about it though.
At least
I mean-
Alaska's quirky.
Yeah. I mean, they seem to have actually. Okay, there's a few pictures of lakes and mountains, and that's okay. A lot of states have lakes and mountains. I think it's like, I don't think it does anything egregious, but I don't think it does anything good. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give it low C.
Low C. I'll put it high D.
There.
So I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude, the stinkers keep coming. Mississippi.
Mississippi. MISSISSIPPI.
What the fuck was that? Is your
So
fucking
this is how they used to.
incantation?
This is how they used to teach us how to spell it in elementary school. Okay.
I see.
The Mississippi River.
Yep.
That's all I think about. That's it. Nothing else is there. Cool River, I guess.
He froze.
That's that. I don't they got water crises. It's a red state, I'm pretty sure, right?
Solid red.
Yeah. I don't think this is a good state, actually. I think this might be a really bad state, actually.
The more you look at it, the more you fucking hate it.
Yeah, like the only article that comes up, like when you look at Google Images and they show you pictures, there's one article that shows up and it's just addressing the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. And like,
Shit.
that's it? Don't you got a river? Like, okay, that's it. That's it. F.
Alright, put it F.
Screw it.
Ooh, a classic. Minnesota!
Minnesota.
Tim Waltz is fucking badass, dude.
True. Tim Waltz tax is like bringing them up crazy.
Dude, the Tim Waltz administration in Minnesota is like, I almost want to put this like low A, even though I don't know anything else about.
I don't know
Minnesota.
anything about Minnesota other than that it's cold. People go like, I'm from Minnesota, eh? You know, they kind of talk like they're Canadian, but they're not.
I guess I have Minneapolis too.
Minneapolis. Tim Waltz. He's really bringing it up there.
He's kind of fucking based, man.
Yeah, honestly. For America's standards, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think low A is pretty solid.
Like he's winning me over on this state, man.
Yeah, honestly.
Maybe when he's out of it, maybe it'll go down to like C. But for now, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for now it's pretty cool.
Have you been to Michigan? You said you have, right?
Michigan. Have I said I've been to Michigan?
I don't recall. Maybe I made it up.
I might have driven. No. No. I have not been to Michigan. I was very close to Michigan.
Yeah.
But I have not been to Michigan.
I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, me either. It's bordering a few Great Lakes.
Everyone knows Detroit, of course.
Of course, Detroit.
A lot of cool lakes.
Okay, they got like Detroit. Okay, Detroit culturally pulls them up a little bit, but like actually, it's like depressing. So like I don't know if that's actually a positive. It might be like pretty bad. They're bordering, I think, 3 Great Lakes, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I don't know. I think it has to be C.
The weather seems nice.
Yeah, the weather seems nice. Probably cold. Pretty north.
Yeah. Top of C?
It has to be
middle C.
Middle C, I think.
Fair
Detroit's
enough.
pretty bad. Detroit's pretty like sad. Like it's like, what are you doing? Like, you know.
I can't disagree.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me. Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Seems like a nice place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think the first thing that comes to my mind is not bad. So
it's got Boston.
It's got Boston. It's got the ports. It's got water.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren was their senator. She was cool.
Yeah, she was okay. Kind of. This goes back to Rhode Island where I like, water and boats, and it seems to be a lot of boats and a lot of water, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But also Boston is overrated. It's like one of those cities where it's a city, but it's like not like an attraction city. Mm-hmm. So like if you go there, it's just kind of nothing.
I've never been there.
I've almost been there, but I talked myself out of it. Because I looked up things to do in Boston and nothing came up.
I think Maryland is a nice state. It's got nice weather.
Yeah.
Solid blue, which is cool.
That's true. It's like what I said before. It's like New York light, but like the city part of it kind of.
Maybe high B?
High B. Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. You ever been to Maine?
I've driven through it. Have I driven through Maine? I don't know. I always confuse Maine with like Maryland. Uh, no, I have not driven through it.
Mm.
But Maine is very pretty.
Yeah.
One of the prettiest states, I think.
Fair enough.
It's like the combination of nature and the coast, like really, really looks nice. Also lighthouse tax,
Lighthouse attacks. Yeah, fair enough.
way up there for me. I like the vibes and everything. Like it feels like very like like everyone lives like in little houses, like a drive away from
Yeah.
the coast. Everyone's got a boating license. Everyone goes fishing. There's little towns everywhere. I've never been there, but I think it looks pretty nice. I think that's pretty nice. I think I might actually give this low to mid A.
Wow. I'll do low A. I'll do low A.
Yeah,
I'll trust
low A is pretty good.
I'll trust your East Coast knowledge.
I mean, it's solid blue, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's one district that because it has the same thing as Nebraska.
Oh, right. I think I remember hearing about that actually last
Yeah.
election.
How about you said you were excited to talk about this one, Louisiana?
Louisiana. I'm like a nerd with
True.
New Orleans and
Oh.
Creole. True. Yeah, I'm a nerd, period. I'm also a nerd about Creole, New Orleans, the food around there, the history around there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know a lot, but I like learning about it. And I really like, even though a lot of them give me the vibe of really like really deep, like weird conservative, some of them at least, like those like swamp people who live in like the middle of the swamp
Yeah.
and like they catch alligators and stuff.
Yeah.
Like on one side of me is like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's kind of raw. But like on the other side, it's like, okay, these people probably very deeply messed up. But okay, food alone brings this state up crazy. Okay.
Okay.
Louisiana food, New Orleans food, Cajun, Creole, everything around that, insanely good. Um, the vibes of New Orleans, like what's that festival they always have?
I don't know.
Hold on,
My only experience with New Orleans is I played the Walking Dead VR game, and
The
you're in New
Walking Dead
Orleans.
VR game. You're just in New Orleans.
It was pretty cool.
Hold on. Festival. Okay, it's the one where the beads.
The beads?
Mardi Gras. Okay.
Wait, Mardi
That
Gras
makes
in
sense. I think so. Pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, it's in New Orleans. Yeah.
I had no clue.
It's in New Orleans. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the vibes are pretty cool. I don't think the state itself is actually like crazy good or anything. It's probably got a lot of issues, especially when it comes to like minority rights and stuff, because I know a lot of like that area, like for example, Creole is like a mix between French and English that a lot of the slave population kind of created and formed because I guess the French had a lot of slaves down there back at that time, back when they colonized it. But I think the culture is so good that it kind of pulls it up quite a bit, but not enough to be like high. I think like low B would be where
I'll trust you. I'll trust the Louisiana shooting because I never expected it. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Also, don't look up festival with beads.
The next state,
Not
kid.
yeah.
I have a feeling we can get through like these next 4 in like seconds. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Kentucky, F.
F.
Kansas, F.
F.
Iowa, F.
F.
Arkansas, F.
F.
And now this is where we might have to slow down. Illinois.
Okay.
Have you been here?
I've not been here.
Damn.
But Chicago.
Yeah.
The bean.
Chicago.
The bear.
The bear. True. That is where the bear is. That is factual.
For sake of brevity, I think it's like higher than Louisiana because I don't think it's as egregious as Louisiana in terms of certain things. Is Illinois red? It's a red state, right?
Illinois is a solid blue state.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That changes things.
I mean, at least this election.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think it's like I think Chicago can only do so much.
I think it's like middle B.
It's like middle B, yeah.
I'll take it. I've never been there. Ugh, Idaho.
Idaho?
This place fucking sucks.
I don't know, like D. It's Idaho. They got Yellowstone National Park, right?
That's true. That's true. And some of it can
That's
be
pretty cool. It can be very pretty.
So I'll just put it bottom of D.
Yeah.
It's called Yellowstone Tax.
Yeah.
Maryland. I've been here. This place was nice.
Yeah, Maryland's nice.
I was a child though, so I might not have the updated lens to view Maryland through that you might.
I mean, I liken it to like worse Massachusetts. Kind of.
See.
It's like the beaches are nice. It's kind of got that same water vibe in certain places and like the same lighthouse vibe, but it's like below New Jersey rather than above it. So it's kind of like worse.
So it takes the below New Jersey tax.
Yeah, it takes the below New Jersey tax, unfortunately. I'd put it like
Middle
two
B?
spaces behind. Yeah. Definitely middle B.
All right, 2 spaces behind. There we go. Perfect. Georgia. It's interesting because for every bad thing I hear about Georgia, I hear something nice about it.
Yeah. It's a swing state, right?
Yeah.
I think this is another one where I think the cultural impact Atlanta has had in a lot of things.
How much impact could it have had if there was never an Atlanta smash in My Hero Academia?
True. Oh, I've been totally neglecting that. I've been totally forgetting. I okay, it's too late for that. Anyway, Georgia, Atlanta, a lot of good music, a lot of good movies and stuff, shows.
Bustling film industry.
Yeah. I think this is like it's above Virginia and South Carolina.
Okay, it's like middle C.
Yeah.
I think their license plate's fucking ugly.
Yeah. I don't like many license plates at all. I think a lot of them are ugly.
Do you have like a favorite?
I like was it the Hawaii one?
Oh yeah.
That one always looked cool to me. Yeah, the Aloha State with the rainbow.
Yeah, that's fun.
I like that one.
The
New Jersey is piss yellow.
It's just a gradient, isn't it? Isn't it just like a
It's just a gradient of yellow white. Yeah, it's not great.
Thank you, GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
I mean, New York's got the fucking solid orange plate too. I like yellow.
Yeah.
I mean, California license plates are chill, bro. We got like 3 different kinds.
True.
You can get a paper license plate now.
I like the New York plate because I think it looks cool on cars sometimes.
Because it's iconic.
Yeah, it's iconic, and also because like I think the contrast works pretty well. But other than that, it's like kind of just plain.
This might be this might be one of the most controversial ones on the list besides Texas and like California stuff. Florida.
F. D. Actually, D.
Bro changes mind real quick.
I don't think it's as bad as other states, right? I don't think it's like,
I mean,
Texas level bad, but
it's got places
bad.
like Orlando, Tampa, Miami. I guess it can't be the worst.
There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is you have places like Tallahassee. Unfortunately, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'll put it like bottom of D next to Texas and Ohio.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You ever been to Connecticut?
No, but I actually hear pretty good things about Connecticut.
Really?
Surprisingly, I mean, I don't hear a lot about Connecticut.
I was
What
gonna
I do
say.
hear about Connecticut, it's not that bad. The worst thing is the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Connecticut is the Madagascar movie, because I think they go through like the train station in Connecticut or something.
Interesting.
Other than that, I mean, I think the city area is supposed to be a pretty good place to live.
Hmm.
Um, Seems like another one of those places where like there's not a lot to do,
Yeah.
but it does have a coast. I think it's like very like middle of the road. I guess B. I don't know.
Low B?
Maybe yeah, low B.
Sure, that works for me.
Sure.
I'm assuming you know something about this state, Delaware, because it's right next to you.
Delaware. Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to do in Delaware.
There's not a lot in Delaware. It's very small.
It's a very, very tiny state.
Yeah.
But the one thing I look up Delaware, the first thing that comes up is a map of saying fake Delaware is not real. And maybe it's not. Who knows? But I mean, it's like pretty much just like entirely like a port.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty much a port state. Like everything is like just right by the water. It's very small. You can drive through it in like very no time at all. I remember the hotels. I stayed in Delaware like once, and the hotels were very cheap
Makes
for
sense.
very big rooms because no one wants to go into Delaware.
No one's going to Delaware.
Yeah. It's like better than the states below it because it's like New Jersey extra light. Like this should just be New
Yeah.
Jersey, you know? So it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's like a little string hanging off of New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's probably
I don't
just
know
like
what that puts it.
it's probably like low B. It's just a state. It's a
Yeah,
state of all time.
Yeah, it's the
At least
state
it's blue.
of all time. Yeah, true.
Colorado. Colorado seems very nice,
Colorado.
and I'm excited to go there.
Got Colorado Springs. It's very pretty.
Very pretty state.
Very,
Solid
very pretty
blue.
state. Solid blue.
It is landlocked. I know you don't like that.
Yeah, but they got those like crystal lakes surrounded by mountains and stuff where it's like picturesque to kayak across. Not that I would ever kayak across a lake in Colorado, but I mean, I'd imagine
if
if
you
I
did.
wanted to, yeah, if I did, it'd be cool. They get snow,
True.
which I like. I like weather. I like
I like weather.
having
Yeah.
heat.
I
I like having heat.
experiencing stimuli.
And, yeah. Stimuli, multiple places of stimuli. I mean, this is like top pretty tax.
Yeah.
To be honest, like this is like one of the most beautiful places in America. Probably gets it like I don't know, high B.
It's got to be high B, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess we could update this more when I go there.
true.
Arizona. Hot
Arizona.
as fuck, dude.
I don't like Arizona because I liken it in my mind to a bunch of like people owning dogs that shouldn't be existing there.
Oh, like people having huskies
Yeah,
in
like that.
Arizona.
Yeah, in like Phoenix or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I also don't like the heat, and it's like nothing but hot.
Yeah. It's a wasteland.
It's probably pretty to drive through, but like
Yeah, when you're in an air-conditioned vehicle, it's probably nice.
yeah. But other than that, it's like nothing's going on. I don't like it that much. I think I'm gonna put it in like right above Nevada, I think. Oh wait, where did I put Nevada? I don't know. Maybe below Nevada.
Nevada is high D.
Maybe right below Nevada because Las Vegas is both good and bad, but Arizona doesn't have Las Vegas, so
I'm just gonna do both of us a favor here and put Alabama in F without discussing it. The final four, we have Alaska. Alaska. It's a lot. There's some things I don't like about Alaska, but it's gorgeous.
It is very
Cannot
gorgeous.
deny it.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful state.
pretty tax for sure.
Pretty tax for sure. It's Alaska is genuinely a desolate wasteland.
Yep. I don't think I could survive. Like I don't think I could survive
No,
living in Alaska.
It's a
but-
place that I would like to go to once.
Yeah, I'd like to visit. maybe.
Yeah.
If like I had options, you know, like if I was
Yeah.
like not like if I had the opportunity to go, I just go just to say I went. But I don't think I could live with like 6 months or whatever it is being light and then the opposite dark. I think I'd go insane.
I mean, I think that only happens if you go like super far north, right?
Yeah, but like if you're going to Alaska, you got to go to Alaska. You know, like you can't go to like
You don't
the
want to go to
basic.
Anchorage?
I don't want to go to Anchorage. I want to go like wherever it is
You want to
that
go to like
like
Fairbanks?
yeah. I want to
I
see.
think.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I'll give Alaska this. The Northern Lights, you can see them there. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, you can.
that is pretty cool. I
I
like
mean,
that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Sig. There's probably been like 3 times you've been able to see him from New Jersey if you knew about it.
True, that's very true. But I have not known about it at the time,
That's
so
why you gotta be
I
in
always
my.
hear about it 3 days after.
That's why you gotta be in my astronomy thread, where I be posting forecasts for auroras.
What's worse is I was definitely in the thread when that happened, and I always learn about it days after, or like right after, or like I mess up and I like sleep through when I should have gotten up and gone outside. But
You probably had an
regardless,
easy ass time seeing it, man. Oh well,
yeah,
whatever, dude.
whatever. Okay, whatever. I'll just lie in the future and say I said it. I saw it. Alaska, very pretty, desolate wasteland of nothing but horrors beyond my imagination.
Bears.
You know, that earthquake
Oh my
that
god,
like
yeah.
completely desolated an entire town. I feel like you go here on like a survival challenge.
Isn't it
Uh,
crazy that like even on this planet that we were designed to live on, there are places that are like genuinely just inhospitable,
yeah,
and we're still there. We're still there.
we're still there. Human willpower.
Like Antarctica is like genuinely not built for human survival, and then we got like a bunch of people down there right now,
Yeah,
just like fucking around.
I mean, humanity.
We loved it in
Anyway,
Denver.
Alaska's like D plus.
Fair enough. How about you ever been to Hawaii?
I have not.
My dad took me to Hawaii when I was like 6. Humid as fuck, of course.
I'd imagine.
Very unpleasant, but it was a nice state. Very pretty, of course,
Yeah,
because it's not America.
yeah, true.
It's the-
It's not America, so it's immediately like in
Yeah.
B's
It's the
or
least.
up.
It's the least suburban American looking state of all time.
True. I think okay, Hawaii is one of those places where like if it was ethical, I would love to go there.
Mhm.
Like, you know, but like if I went to Hawaii, the only thing I'd be thinking about is like, damn, like the tourist industry is like fucking this place up.
Mhm.
Uh other than that, it's not America. The actual Hawaii, like the people, the natives, like actual probably like A tier, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's the only way I want to think about Hawaii. So I'm gonna put it in A tier.
I think I'll put it like bottom A, just because I really don't like the fucking humid ass climate.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's not for
I don't
me,
like
man.
humidity either.
Indiana. You ever thought about
Indiana. Oh, I forgot about this state actually. I've never consciously, you know what? I don't think I've ever thought about Indiana without someone else
the
bringing
state?
it up.
Yeah.
I have never even honestly I forgot this existed. And for that F.
Oof.
What else is there? Indianapolis?
That's it. But it's a solid red state, so it's got that negative tax on it too.
Yeah, so that even further negative tax. Yes,
All right,
F.
I'll put it F. I'll put it F. All right, buddy. This is the final one. You better choose your words carefully on this one. California.
Going like mid S, I think. It's not my number one state.
It's
definitely
the
up
number one
there.
State. It's the number one state.
Okay.
It's the number one
Okay.
state. California, greatest of the union. Everyone who hates California has one, never been to California, and two, drank the fucking red state Kool-Aid, dude. There's only two things I dislike about California. One, it's hot as fuck. Last month we had days of 115 degrees Fahrenheit, or which I think is like 48 degrees Celsius.
Jeez.
So that sucks. And it's getting very expensive. It's undeniable.
Yeah.
Everything else is great.
I mean,
I love the politics here. We have every Minecraft biome here. It's fucking fantastic. You can go anywhere.
true.
People here are perfectly average and fine, and they don't bother me.
I mean, fair. I mean, I think California has so many positives that the negatives are it's easy to overlook the negatives. Um, but for me, I think my mind immediately goes to uh LA, like Skid Row,
There's
that
so
kind of
much
thing.
more than LA, bro.
I know. There's so much more than LA, but if I'm being fair, every other state that I've ranked, pretty much, it's like the city is pretty much all that matters.
Yeah,
So I
but
gotta.
for California, there's like 6 cities that are
That's fair.
huge.
That's true. That's true.
San
California is a
Diego,
very big state.
LA,
Dude,
San
it's
Fran,
insanely
Sacramento.
huge.
Dude, there's all kinds of shit. San Jose, I
Uh,
forgot San Jose too. Everyone forgets
yeah,
about San Jose. That's fair.
but I do think there is. I mean, this is anywhere, but there is definitely like an issue with livability for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, it's the issue is that so many people want to live in California that nobody can afford to live in California.
Yep.
It's like really bad. It's like
Yeah,
really
it's
bad, dude.
it's it's really bad. Um, but
I don't
other
know.
than that,
I don't know what the cost is in like New Jersey, but in my area of California, like a 2 bedroom apartment, it's like 1,600 a month.
oh, I didn't even talk about the cost of living. New Jersey is crazy. Like New Jersey is I praise New Jersey like crazy, but like it is like you gotta I don't know how people live here to be honest sometimes. It's like one of those places where yeah, the infrastructure, the public infrastructure is pretty much better than a lot of places almost everywhere in America, but like you pay the fuck out of taxes for it and you pay for insane rates for whether it's renting, mortgages, whatever. Everything costs so much money here. It's actually insane.
Mhm.
Um, it's because we're right underneath New York City,
Oh
and
yeah.
all the people from New York City go across to
Oh
New Jersey.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So is that one of those
yeah,
situations where like, oh, I live in New Jersey, but like I work in New York?
yeah, all the time. Literally everyone works in. It's either that or they work in Jersey City or something.
Yeah.
Um, but in terms of actually affording to live in New Jersey, it's one of the most expensive states to live in, I think.
Mhm.
Um, I guess same with California, to
Yeah.
probably an even greater deal because of how much bigger it is. Um,
It
but
sucks
even then,
because like
you
even
know,
with California, even if with places that like aren't near San Francisco or Los Angeles, it's still bad.
yeah,
Like you can't even look at a shithole like Redding, which is like way northern California. It's still expensive as fuck for no reason. There's nothing there.
damn,
So as much as I love it here, I think I will have to move eventually. It's just
yeah.
it's not affordable.
I mean, California is one of those places where I would love okay, outside of weather, right? I don't think I could live somewhere like with that amount of heat constantly
Yeah,
just
fair.
because I'm just horrible with dealing with it.
I mean,
But
unless you go to the mountains, I guess, and it's fine. But
yeah, it's true. But other than that, I would love to live there if I could, like one of those things, I
yeah,
guess.
I think a place that would work in California for you is like somewhere in the mountains or San Francisco, which good luck with that one, by the way. But
Yeah. I
San
mean,
Francisco is very mild.
yeah, I like San Francisco, but I heard a lot of similar issues there in
It's
terms of livability.
ungodly expensive.
Yeah.
I've been to San Francisco a couple times. The weirdest thing about San Francisco is how it's like. You ever played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
Yeah.
You know, San Fierro, how like the whole city for some reason is just like diagonal lines for roads that
Oh
just like
yeah.
have hella steep roads. It's true.
Yeah.
It's legit like that. It's really bizarre.
This is very hilly.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
scary when I was a child because I didn't like that I couldn't see over the hill that we were driving over. But other than that, we've ranked every state. We have 3S,
Crazy.
6A, a bunch B, some C, a lot D, and a lot F.
I mean, it seems it's fair. I feel like
Yeah.
You know, like the United States, like doesn't have a lot to offer in terms of. It's got a lot of low tier, nothing happening states. Very few, very good states, relatively, and that's about it.
Some guy in the comments is gonna be like, "Hey, I'm from Kansas. Fuck you. Fuck you guys."
Actually, I live in Indiana, and a lot happens here. I noticed you mentioned that Indiana borders, or you didn't mention Indiana borders a Great Lake, even though you mentioned that about every other state that borders a Great Lake.
It's just got no sauce. What do you want me to
Yeah.
say?
What are we supposed to do? Rank Indiana high? Like it's Indiana. Like what is going on in Indiana? Or whatever else, Kentucky, whatever, Alabama. Like Alabama got that one song and like incest
Incest
allegations.
allegations.
Yeah, like, that's it. Like
At least we didn't do you
that's it.
guys like South Dakota, man. That's all I'm saying.
True.
We put South
South
Dakota in the
Dakota,
dumpster.
South Dakota got tanked. Ah,
It's because that cringe ass fucking rock formation they decided to make.
true. And it's not even good. It's not even big.
It's not even.
You ever view actual images of it from it, like
Yeah.
the actual like
Yeah.
it's like weak. Like at least have it be big, like you know, like at least, but nah, nothing.
It's mid. It's ass.
It's
Sorry, mid is too nice.
Mid ass.
A real mid state is New Hampshire.
True.
That's true mid.
That's true mid.
Well, unless you got anything else we gotta talk about, I guess that could be it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All
I
right.
mean, that was. I did not expect to go on multiple rants about the states.
You're
I didn't think I
passionate
had it.
about
I didn't
Louisiana,
think I had that much passion for Louisiana,
bro.
to be honest.
You set me up for that much passion about Louisiana, and then you rank it like low B, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's fair.
Louisiana, I guess. I guess it's like that for you, man. Well, go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug, man. If you have anything to plug.
Oh man, I don't know. I guess you could check out my YouTube channel where I posted a video where I'm pretty much just talking about how Deku went from being good to bad in MHA,
You post
and it's
once
kind
a
of like my
year.
little. I post once a year. It's kind of light, you know. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of just passion stuff. If you want to check it out, you can. You don't have to. Check out my Twitter, I guess. It's whatever. I'm just chilling.
He's so passionate.
So passionate, yeah. Passion projects. You can do it if you want. It's okay. Yeah, whatever.
All right, well, I guess that'll be it for the 3rd episode, and I'll see you guys probably in like a month or two.
All right, bye.